Ready?
Yeah.
You look ready.
And I'm definitely ready. It's Sunday night. That means it's time for another episode of At Week's End, the spoiler-filled look back at this week in comics, movies, news, reviews, spoilers, all that good stuff. We're going to be talking about every bit of it. And there's a lot of it to talk about tonight. Tons of announcements, tons of news, some good books to cover, as well as the Comics Pro Summit for 2025, which will be covering a little bit of that because there's some really exciting stuff in there. And we're going to do it right after this.
What's happening?
Hey, Paul, how's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. How's your weekend treated you?
Pretty good.
Anything exceptional? Anything special?
Nothing really. No, it's
So
not like I had a birthday.
Extraordinary, just ordinary.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't have a birthday. Moana didn't show up at my door.
Who didn't show up at your door?
Moana.
Oh, yeah, she showed up at ours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we had Monkey's actual birthday was Friday, so we were like going to her school and celebrating at her school with her. I'm rushing off the dead media between the cracks, and she comes home and we give her a new bike, and then we go out and take her to Second and Charles because I want to go knock around there. And not only are we celebrating her birthday, we're having to pick up gifts for other kids' birthdays that weekend. So Saturday rolls around and her and Finn both go to a kid's birthday party. Today rolls around and we have Monkey's birthday party, which I'm there for an hour and a half, and I have to spirit Finn away to go to his friend's birthday party to drop off a present, hang out for a few, then back to Monkey's birthday party. It's been a fantastic adventure, to say the least. It's been a fantastic weekend.
And I feel like through all of that, you managed to almost double the size of your Green Lantern figures.
I did. I have them right here. We're going to talk about it. We're talking about that. Yeah, I brought them to the show to show off. So it's been a productive week since we last were here doing this, because I got 4 new McFarlane collector edition ones, which I got to tell you, I'm digging these collector editions over the standard ones because the price tag is so little different, but you actually get tons of alternate hands, these face swaps. I haven't opened the first one yet, but I have multiple here that have the new, not just head swap, but the faceplate swaps, which I'm super interested to finagle with one of those. So you have, I think, these already.
I have all of them. My Guy Gardner is coming, but I have to pick it up next week.
You got Tomorrow, you got Simon.
Yeah.
Did you happen to open Simon, or did you just leave them in the display box?
I've left them in the display box right now.
Yeah, dude, I haven't opened a McFarlane figure since the Batman Forever wave. I still have them sitting right over there, the whole wave ready to open. I've got now 2 Batmobiles backlogged, the Michael Keaton 89 one, because they did the Flash movie and the 89 separate. I've got the George Clooney Batmobile to open. I've got the entire Batman v Superman wave to open, but I will say I'm getting more of those as days go on. I got the platinum figure for Superman that's like a statue with the spray paint false god on it, like the actual statue from the film that gets busted up by Doomsday. And then a homie from the interwebs here sent me a picture and a message asking if I needed the Armored Batman Platinum Edition, where it's kind of like your Alan Scott, how they did the extra green paint job on the platinum version.
Yep.
It's kind of like that, where he comes with like green paint on a portion of him. So when he's holding the kryptonite spear, it looks like it's illuminating him.
Okay.
So it's just been a very McFarlane week, and I haven't opened none of these. And if you watch Finn's channel, you've seen the Superman one, which I opened, let them open this box of goodies from our good friend, the adventurous one, Joseph Michaels.
And you scored a whole bunch of Alien figures as well.
Yeah, that's members only right now.
Mm-hmm.
That I did. So scored a whole bunch. Dude, it's so many freaking toys. I got it's up to a second bag. You know those old 1980s, early 90s action figure holders?
Mm-hmm.
It's like got a handle. It's got the little latch on the side. It folds open.
Yep.
It would have the plastic trays in it. I had a Ninja Turtles one growing up. Those James Cameron Alien movies, how they had toys. The toys weren't based off the movies. The characters are of the same name and stuff, but they're based off of a kid's cartoon that the pilot was made, merchandise was made, but they never aired the show. They never went forward with it. It was called Operation Alien. So after going to Dead Media, I went to the old interweb and I ordered like mint condition, still with the plastic trays and everything, Operation Alien toy case. Cause I gotta put these in a case because they just sit in arm's reach of me.
Right.
So if I put it in the case, because everything's in arm's reach, that's how this house.
Everything you own is within arm's reach of you.
Yeah. So if I put them in a case, I can just reach out and grab the handle when I need to. Right. Instead of opening a drawer and putting my hand in a drawer. It's like Mary Poppins' bag down here. But real quick, we're going to holler at the chat in just a second. But don't forget to check the links in the description if you're looking for any fantastic resources in this amazing hobby that we all share in. Big Time Collectibles is an amazing online retailer who does exclusive variants, con exclusives, mystery boxes, all kinds of fun stuff. It's just really, really great shop. The most trusted online retailer in the game, Big Time Collectibles. Also, if you need anything cleaned or pressed, be sure to hit up my good friend Justin's Comics. He's got you covered. He can get them tuned up for you. Then you can send them into the grading services if you don't have your own account and get you right. He can get you right. And if you're looking to get into new comic books and you don't have an LCS and you're looking for a good comic shop, ABX Comics and Games has got you covered. That's my LCS. They are the community's comic shop. You can set up a mailing list with them and save free shipping on $100 orders or more. So be sure.
It was just MegaCon and already C2. The BTC is already rolling out their C2E2 stuff.
Yeah, their teaser slate, right?
Yeah.
What would it look like? Like 16 books or something?
Yeah. And they've got the first one, which is the Batman 158, I think. The
logo for it, right?
Yeah.
Well, dude, let's say hey to the chat and we'll go right back to that conversation because that's a whole conversation right there because of the shape of said logo. It made the thumbnail. It's right. Paul's face is the bat symbol right now, but let's see who all is in here with us tonight. We got none other than Ruby G, White Tiger, Triple C. What's going on, homie? Las Crucius, good to see you in here. Main Man with Pots and Pans, Darth Lopez. What is going on, homie? Hope you're feeling better, my dude. John's Comics with Kids. Everybody check out Wonder Woman by Tom King. It had another great issue this last week, and I'm very excited for the finale to the Sovereign Saga next month. Yo, it was so good. Me and Paul were talking about it right before we went live. When we hopped on here, he was re-flipping through it, rereading through it. It was wild. There he is, the adventurous one, still fighting the sickness crap. So just here lurking and watching. I hate that for you, man. You just got over the water issues,
right?
Tackling that, man. I'm ready for you to tell us about a win. I'm looking forward to the day when you can hop on here and be like, life's good. How are y'all? Life's good. How are y'all? That's what I want to hear. And big thank you, man, for the care package you sent, not just to me, but to the kiddos. They absolutely love the stuff. You saw the video. They lit up like a Christmas tree, Joe. I can't thank you enough, my friend. That was amazing of you. It all ends here at Week's End. That's apt. That's apt. For those that know the lore, that's very apt. Because this show is actually named after a DC comic called At World's End, where it did, in fact, all end. Going to reread Baskets and Refrigerators Full of Heads. There you go. What is going on, Brother John's Comics? What's good, brothers and sisters? Happy Week's End to you as well. Cliff on Comics. Hello, hello. Flash Ray Videos. What's up, homie? What's up? What's good, everyone? We are legion, listening while I retile my room floors. Now, that's multitasking. This is the kind of guy who knows how to get it done. No rest. Hashtag GSD. The Collector P is in the chat. What is going on? Hello to you. Hello, hello. Stephen with a C is in the building. Good to see you in here. Comics Embrace. Hello to you. Scotty. Hello, hello. A new Batum and Merriman. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, you're awesome. Appreciate you, man. Nice, nice. So yeah, let's get into it. There's some stuff we can kick straight to the thumbnail. We can touch on that because these characters really feel like, in my mind, they kind of pair together. When you're thinking of like a Marvel character, a DC character, their equal opposite counterpart at one or the other companies, you know. Like I always think Superman is like the strongest at DC, and I think of Hulk immediately. When it comes to Batman, I think of Captain America. Pretty much whoever were paired together in the DC Marvel crossover that I love so much from my childhood, that's how I pair them up. And these two battled it out in the comic book, and it was interesting back in the Marvel versus DC in the 90s because they didn't give you a definitive winner. They didn't let one best the other one. They both were in the sewer. Cap through the shield, Batman through the battering ring. They both connected all right before the flood came through and swept them both up. and Batman like grabbed Cap so he didn't get swept away, and they crawled out of the sewer together. I thought,
right.
that's
and
cheating.
outside of the amalgam stuff, they actually did share a story as well, by John Byrne, if I'm not mistaken. Captain America and Batman.
90s or 80s?
Yeah, when they was, when they did like
Mhm.
it was after, it was probably 80s, I think, probably
Late 80s, I believe.
Yeah,
Now, those are the ones that were collected in the other omnibus, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
If I send you an email, can you PayPal it $20 for a tip for our princess?
Yes, I'll do that later.
Okay.
Cool. Kyle wants to tip Moana.
Worth it.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Just give her a
She was.
just give her a fancy shell.
Yeah, just gonna mail her a seashell. We have a bag of them somewhere in here.
Some more rocks for her to eat.
Yeah. Just send her a little bit of kernels of corn and a seashell. She'll be fine.
Yeah.
What's going on, Brian LCS? Good to see you, homie. Yeah, dude, baby on the way, so got to get everything ready. Dude, that's awesome. Everyone's having babies. Ruby G, Flash Ray, dude, that's awesome. But yeah, Batman, Captain America both had some epic news that were happening. Nothing new in the sense of Marvel. They announced like the new Captain America #1 in the creative team. But what's interesting about the Captain America one is Chip Zdarsky is going to be writing it, who will be leaving Batman, heading back over to Marvel, and he'll be taking over Captain America. And the cover looks great. That's a great cover. No getting around it. The artist name is Valero Shitty. So Valero Shitty and Chip Zdarsky is going to be taking on Captain America.
Oh, that's some shitty art.
Yeah, some shitty art. It looks good, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm just a dude who lives down here in the South. I don't know how to pronounce fancy words. It's not Joe Dirt, it's Dierte.
Yeah. Remember the sweaty balls thing from
yeah, but Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
Sweaty balls.
Can't get enough of my sweaty balls.
Taste the difference. Yeah, rock painted with bioluminescent algae. That would be great. Tate Prime is in the building. What's up, homie? Real quick, huge congrats to Tate. If y'all didn't get a chance to get on board, he launched his Kickstarter with his homies called The Shift over on Kickstarter. It closed out. They were shooting for a goal of $1,000, I think. They've crossed well over 3,000. I got it back. I'm excited for it and all that good stuff. And Brian currently has the Doctor Issue 2 running on Kickstarter. He's making the rounds on the old interwebs promoting that, which, of course, I'll be backing that one as well.
Yeah, he's like 85% back the last I saw.
Nice. His getting closer. Brian, be sure to drop the link in the chat whenever you pop up. But yeah, check out the Doctor. It is still active. Don't forget to don't miss out on issue number 2.
Oh, there it is. Fully funded.
Oh, it's fully funded?
Yep.
Let's go. All right, well, nobody else back it. No one back it. It's funded. I'm just kidding, obviously. But yeah, big shout out to him. I'm looking forward to issue 2. The artwork in it is like a huge improvement. It looks dope. DJ Links is in the building, as he likes to say. That shield looks weird. It looks a little flatter than normal. Yeah, it looks a little flatter than normal, but overall, I dig the art. I like the thin pencil work on it and stuff. He looks like Cap. It looks classic looking. It looks cool to me. He doesn't look quite as bulky as like our 90s, like where like the detail and the muscle shining through the suit, but you can definitely see he's a bulkier guy. But that's shitty art for you. That's Valerio shitty art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good stuff. Thank you, Mark. Thank you to this amazing community for the love and support. Yeah, the book better not suck, bro. We're giving you money. We gave you money. This book better be good. Such an interesting concept. I'm excited for it. I got all the covers, even Comic Journey's foreskin variant. That's what we determined it was. Cap does look great. Yeah. Shield just, I don't know if it's a perspective thing. It does look a little flat to me. Okay. It looks flat, but at the same time, we can see the other side of that star that's on the middle of it. It's just, I don't know. I'm going to give it a shot. I like me some Captain America. I've picked up the first ones at the beginning of them when they've done the previous ones and dropped them pretty fast. But I like Chip Zdarsky enough. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't got nothing against him. And but I'm hoping he does something different with this. You know, we've had what he's done previously with Daredevil, with Batman. I hope he's not going to be like, all right, I'm going to write Captain America. We need to make him poor, take his money away from him, leave him with nothing but his whitey tidies and his shield and let him take on the world, which kind of is like, seems like Chip's thing these days. But
I'm laughing because you mentioned Cap CJ's
Foreskin variant.
yeah. So are there two versions?
The secret variant.
No, a cut and an uncut.
Yeah. You've seen CJ's cover, but I've just been picking at him, just giving him the business over that cover, and I determined that it had to be a foreskin variant, just a close up.
Exactly.
And
See, Brian knows what's going on.
yeah, cut and uncut. Yeah, his backhand is weird as well. Oh yeah, because it's kind of flipped down. Let's see. No, that's right though. Yeah, that's right. I even hit my window.
Well, no, you would think if he, I guess it depends on how he throws it. If he throws it like a frisbee, his hand would be up, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Now it makes me want to go back to the movies.
If he throws it across, then yeah, it would be down like that. If he throws it,
I mean, it can go either way. Like you can flip your hand or not. I wonder if we go back to the movie and like try to pause it after a shield is thrown and see where their hand is. Oh, it might maybe a die cut. Oh no. What is going on? Zarabinski is in the building. What's up, Thomas? Hope you're doing good. Good to see you in here, my dude. What up? Another fantastic artist in the community. Okay, so it is flat. Thought my eyes were going out on me. No, it's definitely flatter than normal. But yeah, I'm excited to see what's up with it. I'm not gonna hold out high hopes or anything like that, but there's enough books out there that my pool of stays filled out. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. And then the flip side is, to me anyway, the guy who had the most interesting Cap take in the last 15 years, maybe 20 years, is going to be writing Batman.
Oh, that one. Matt Fraction is back.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's huge.
That is huge.
That isn't just like that isn't like, hey, this comic writer is over here now. No, that's huge.
He's still been doing some of his like noir stuff with Sean Phillips and everything, but this is his first superhero in a long time.
Mm-hmm. Dude, that's massive news.
And he wrote the Jimmy Olsen miniseries a couple of years ago too. But yeah, again, this is the first. This is his first. Yeah. But yeah, and like I said, I think he had the best take of Captain America in the past probably 20 years with the Winter Soldier stuff.
And we're keeping Jorge Jimenez. Nailed it. Keeping Jorge Jimenez for this one. Matt Fraction is huge though, man. I'm like, wait, what? When I saw this news, I'm like, no. Isn't he doing like TV shows and movies now? Yes, but he's also going to be doing Batman. Mm-hmm. Did you see any news on how long he's going to be here?
No, but I mean, it's going to be a brand new #1. So once Hush finishes, they're going to restart at #1.
And that gives us our timeline for Hush as well, because this is coming out in September.
Right, exactly. And then what's supposed to happen is somewhere down the road, the second part of Hush is supposed to come out as a 6-part miniseries.
Dude, that's super cool. Like I'm very excited for Batman right now. Mm-hmm. The Chip Zdarsky era hasn't been bad. It's definitely been something that I've enjoyed quite a bit more than the previous couple runs before it. But that's also not saying a lot.
Right.
It hasn't been like the, hey, are you reading Batman? But it hasn't been bad. Chip's run has had some weird stuff to it. Some really weird stuff too, like the first part of the failsafe stuff. Obviously, the trunks wrapping it up on your face, smelling your own dick cheese to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. That was such a weird idea. And I think that's what his run's going to be remembered for more than anything.
You say that now until it saves your life.
Yeah. But I say all that to say Matt Fraction's kind of an out of the box kind of writer. He does some wild storytelling. Like he likes to take on the weird and obscure himself.
One of his best issues probably had dealt with a dog.
Oh, with Hawkeye, the pizza dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting seeing what old Batman gets up to, but we also see that he's going back to the blue and gray, and we get the new bat symbol, which is featured on that variant that Paul's talking about. There's a foil logo variant from Big Time Collectibles coming out that's already been announced, and I don't think that one's for this book, though, is it? That's a long ways away.
I want to say it's for the first part of Hush. I want to say it's like Hush 158, I think.
Maybe he's going back to this suit for Hush.
Could be.
He's rocking the gray and blue during Hush. Mm-hmm. It would be right. It'd be a good time to do it. Oh, man, Jim Lee's art. We're so close. What are we, one issue away, or is it the next issue of Batman?
The next issue. March. It's the end of March. So, they have like a good 7 weeks between Zdarsky's last issue and the first part of Hush too. But yeah, March.
And I'm right here with Gary B. I'm sorry, BD Gary B. Blue and gray is always my favorite bat colors. I'm 100% in agreement with you on that. I'm hoping that the next live action Batman we get, not the Matt Reeves Batman, but what we see for the DCU, I hope that they take that step to set it apart from everything we've seen before and give us the blue gray as well. We saw kind of a touch of it with the Flash movie. He was legit rocking the gray and blue in that. And even though the suit was weird with the armor plates and stuff, what they did for it, for that movie, for that scene, the blue and gray itself still looked great on screen. Like it wasn't weird not having just a gray or a black suit. Like it looked really, really good with blue. I really like the fisheye perspective. That's a unique cover. Yeah, Jorge Jimenez nailed it. Is super, super good artist. Super consistent too. Again, it's the fine line work too. A lot of it too. Mike's right there with the blue and gray as well. Speaking of pizza, there is finally a Samurai Pizza Cats video coming out soon. Only 30 years late, but better than never. Was unaware of the one 30 years ago even, but I'm glad it's coming. I'm glad it's coming. Berserker and Bad Idea Comics.
Yeah, Bad Idea is going with Lunar. That was announced at Comic Pro. And then they did this thing. I guess I don't call the name of the issue, but Bill Sienkiewicz is going to do a comic with Bad Idea, and apparently they printed like 10 special issues of it. And if you somehow got to Bad Idea while they were at Comic Pro and you got some sort of tattoo that they wanted you to get, you could get one of those comics.
Interesting. Absolutely crazy, but interesting. I'm surprised that company's still making books.
Yeah.
I don't, it's really nothing else to say. I don't want to. Yeah, the weirdest business model in the world. I don't see how they're making money. I don't know, unless they own the tattoo parlor.
Yeah, they only sell to certain comic stores. You have to
jump through hoops.
Yep.
Very weird. Speaking of the Jim Lee, Jeff Loeb Hush thing, they did speak on this a little bit. We got some information from Jim Lee out there talking about continuity questions. So I'm assuming that might be our suit that we're going to be looking at with the despite not necessarily being blue and gray, it does have my favorite Batman logo. It doesn't get better than the yellow and black logo. You just can't beat that. It's unbeatable. But I don't know. I'm still interested. We've got so many variants out there from so many different artists. I really don't know what to expect yet. I've seen no interior pages. I haven't gone out of my way to look, but he was talking about the continuity of this because the last time Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee were together for Hush, it was pre-New 52. It wasn't a different timeline, but it was a timeline that wasn't affected by Dr. Manhattan yet. So they were talking about how to work in continuity. And they were also talking about how they spoke with comic shops. And those comic shops had talked to them and said how Batman The Long Halloween and Batman Hush are books that they send new readers to on a regular basis because they can pick up Hush, pick up The Long Halloween with no context to continuity, with no homework. They can read those and get a huge list of characters, and they can also get a full story and be completely satisfied with having all the context of what they're reading right there in those pages of the issues. And they said they're aiming to do that again with this new one, where they're having to do a little tweaking to characters that they worked on previously. And Dr. Leslie Thompson was the example they gave, how she was an older woman in the first run of Hush and how she's kind of younger now after Rebirth and everything. And they said that they're doing little things like saying she got some work done and just doing a little tweaking like that. But they also still want this, like I said, to be a self-contained but in continuity story.
So the BTC foil is actually the logo that you see there at the top there.
The top one?
It's not the new logo.
It's not the new one. It's that one.
Yeah, and it's 158. It's Batman number 158. I'm sure, knowing Nelson, he'll do one for Batman.
He will. Hell yeah, he will. Matt Fraction wrote a lot of original run of Bad Idea comics, but 100% agree with Gary B. With gimmicks is how they get money. Yeah, I just don't know. Man.
Yeah.
I wonder what their print count is on
stuff. Weren't they the one that also did the blank? They did the blank CGC, right? Well,
it wasn't a blank CGC. It was an invisible comic, Paul. Let's be fair. Let's be fair here. Are you excited for this Hush?
I am very excited for Hush. Yeah, absolutely. I love Jim Lee art. You don't get enough of it, but he's he's trying to run a whole, he's president and publisher, So
yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting because like a lot of his art, like the covers we see, they don't really hold up to his work he did 15, 20 years ago. I mean, like you said, he's busy. He'll do a drawing. So I'm interested to see what he does with these interiors, being that it's something that they worked on quietly for a long time so that this book would be done by the time it came to market. It wouldn't be something that he's having to work on each day and each week to get it out on time. So I'm very interested to see the level of Jim Lee that Jim Lee brings to the table for this.
Yeah.
Should be cool stuff.
Right.
This is cool news. A brand new Zatanna comic dropped this week. Issue number 1, written and illustrated by Jamal Campbell. If you want to know all the details of this book,
it will be on. We're doing that as our DC deep dive tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. No absolute issues this week, so we took some time to review the newest all-in title, which was Zatanna. Yeah.
Issue number 1. Yep. But it was kind of a good choice because
number 2 though. That's great.
Number 2. Them thighs, man. Them thighs. When it comes to the lovely ladies of DC Comics, I think Zatanna is my number 1. It's the fishnets and the hat.
Her and Black Canary.
Black Canary. Yeah, but I'm already fearful of women screaming at me to begin with. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just like who thought of that? Like, let's make this tough female character. What's your superpower? Oh, she yells at men. Like, come on, guys. Come on. Great. But yeah, be sure to check out Sector's channel, Sector 2815. It should be linked in below of all my videos. And you can just click on that little app mentioned there, and you can find more content from us. We do the DC Comics Deep Dive over there that comes out every Monday. And the number 1 comic book game show this side of the Mississippi is every other week right there on his channel as well, where you can participate from the live chat and win some funny books in the process. And I can promise you one thing, they'll be shiny.
Yes.
Love Jim Lee art. Not so much Hush. I liked his original story, but kind of C-level villain, in my opinion. That's fair. I think one of the best kind of Hush was the ensemble.
They did a kind of bait and switch on the they did a Hush ashcan at
ashcan. I thought you were going to talk about that movie.
No, they did a Hush ashcan at MegaCon. If you bought a DC book, you got a free ashcan, and all it really was that like 3 or 4 page prologue, whatever, that was in all the comics already, and just all the variant covers. So it didn't give us anything new.
They got you.
Yeah.
Enjoy your purchase. Here you go.
Yeah.
Flo Damer says, "Hush these nuts to all the haters." That movie was not good, Flo. There's no way around it. No way around it. It was good till it wasn't. I'll give you that. It was good till it wasn't. But yeah, I'm very excited for the comic. It's going to be super duper fun. Speaking of haters, let's rouse them up. You ready?
Ready.
Out this week, Rob Liefeld returns to DC Comics for a one-off cover. I believe he said it was Jeff that reached out to him specifically and said, "Hey, would you like to do a cover for me for the Long Halloween, last Halloween?" And no secret, Rob Liefeld doesn't work for DC because he doesn't feel like DC appreciates him properly, which, dude, to each their own. I think Rob Liefeld has earned every ounce of whatever respect that he asks for or expects from a company. This dude is a living legend in comics. You don't have to like his art. All you got to do is check the sales numbers of his work. That to this day, Rob Liefeld puts up numbers. And this cover is a can't miss cover for me. I think it looks phenomenal. I'm a Rob Liefeld defender, a huge fan. And hopefully I'll be able to get more than one copy so I can use one as on the new DC Day giveaway this Tuesday. So come swing by the live stream every Tuesday. We talk the books that are coming out that week, some more news, just hang out in the middle of the day and give new comics away every Tuesday. And hopefully this will be in the giveaway because, man, oh man, is this awesome. Look at the way he drew the Joker in Tim Sale fashion.
Yeah, it is a pretty sweet cover.
Let's see. I got to go back and check the chat now. Here we go. Joker looks like Silvestri. It looks like Tim Sale art with those big long teeth and stuff. I made a video about Rob's comments, craziest comment section I've ever had. LOL. Yeah, I can imagine. So, man, there's no middle ground for this guy, is there? Divisive figure to say the least. It's just his audience. That is a boss, Liefeld cover.
Funny too, because I mean, again, obviously, you know, he's going to do what he's got to do and what he says, but I mean, they have. I mean, he got his start really with Hawk and Dove.
Reinvented the characters and turned that into a selling book.
Yeah. And then they brought him back for the New 52. He was doing Hawkman, I think. Right?
With delays.
Yeah. So I mean, there was a lot of. I mean, it could have had to do with the New 52 because there were a lot of. I mean, George Perez had the issues with New 52 and the editorial thing. And, yeah, he was on Superman. The problem was that Grant Morrison was on Action doing whatever he wanted to do, but George was supposed to make it tie into what Grant was doing, but Grant wasn't telling anybody what he was going to be doing.
I don't think Grant knew until Grant knew. Yeah. Everyone creates differently, you know. Like some people, they don't know what they're going to do till they put the pen on the paper, kind of thing.
Right.
And they just wing it. They just flip and wing it. Oh, speaking of New 52, you remember how that all started, right? Like we got all these titles. We're going to put them out and we're going to see what sells, see what doesn't. That was kind of a interesting model because, you know, when they were putting out all those titles, you know, like Jonah Hex, Seven Swords, like all kinds of stuff, they didn't expect every single one of those titles to be ongoing forever. They knew that some would fall off. They were fine with it, but they wanted to put out a lot of titles. And I've been thinking about that a lot lately with how All In is going because we're doing kind of the same thing. They have announced on the front end that a lot of these are miniseries, though. Challengers of the Unknown, Black Lightning, I think Zatanna that just came out. That's 6 issues. While we have a regular ongoing, we do have a lot of The Question. Yeah, they're not listed as miniseries on the covers like you would see a lot of times where it says 1 of 6, 1 of 10. It just has the number. But it reminded me a little of New 52 because ultimately we're going to be seeing the end of some of these. And this week, DC announced the end of a few titles. Surprisingly, none of them were the solicited miniseries.
Right.
What started out as Mark Waid's kind of fantastical dinosaur auditing, just ridiculous. This series has been awful from jump. It has been terrible. The artwork at the start was amazing with Dan Mora drawing Captain Marvel like in all his glory. They kind of did some great things like getting him back to form, getting addressing the Wisdom of Solomon issue, addressing the name, all kinds of stuff. But it's going to be ending at issue 21, which I feel like is 22, maybe 22 issues too long. Ending at 21, that's 22 issues too long for this run. It was awful. For me to drop a title like Shazam, in my opinion, it was super bad. But we're going to be losing that. We're going to be losing Power Girl that's running 20 issues. And we've talked about this, like shocked that this, like when this passed 6, I'm like, wait, what's going on? Obviously with the lovely ladies, the bombshells and stuff, the covers carry titles really far. Look at Poison Ivy rocking 30-something issues. But with Poison Ivy, everyone who's reading it is saying it's phenomenal. I don't know what's going on in this. I haven't read any of it. Had no desire to. But
But we are getting a Supergirl title to replace it.
Yeah. And she'll probably be a regular in there. Maybe. It's a Kara title, but I feel like they're doing a lot of stuff like that to write. They're kind of getting in line with what they're looking at is going to be like the next real big push over to DC Comics, a brand new Batman issue #1 in September, which isn't going to be long after the launch of Superman in theaters. We got the whole summer of Superman happening with a Superman Beyond, or what's it called? That Dan Slott's writing.
Superman Unlimited.
Superman Unlimited, the whole one shot that's coming out that summer. They're really pushing Superman to align with the release of the movie because there's going to be a lot of hype going around it.
A crypto series.
Yeah, because we need that.
Right.
They're really leaning into this crypto thing.
Right.
And then a new Supergirl series. So we're trading one Supergirl for another. What they need to do is put Power Girl back over in JSA where she belongs.
Right. And you and I talked about that this morning. This morning we were recording the deep dive. Is Mark Waid is returning to Action Comics, and it's going to focus on Superboy, the Smallville Superboy.
Not Smallville TV show.
No. So it should be Clark Kent, but it will be a Superboy Clark Kent.
So All In is just the era, the initiative that DC kind of, instead of just relaunching #1s across the board all the time, they'll do different reading initiatives. So you'll just see something on the corner box that says All In or
they
Rebirth
did the Dawn.
or
They did the Dawn of DC
or Dawn of DC. It's just so you kind of like as a reader who's walking into a shop, you can say, "Oh, this book is around the same time era of this book," just from looking at the covers. It's just kind of like for people that kind of keep up, okay, these came after Absolute Power, but before this, you can kind of group time eras together. It's actually really smart. Works out really good. But the Justice League, the official working title of the current Justice League comic book is Justice League Unlimited. And then the third title that they're dropping, which, man, this one didn't last long at all, officially canceled their Two-Face series at issue number 6. Now, I assumed that this one would have been a mini-series with Christian Ward and everything.
It was too, yeah.
But I never actually looked. And like I said, it's not on the cover. This isn't one that I picked up. I remember when they announced the Penguin standalone series, I said, why is this a thing? Then I saw TK was writing it, and I said, well, I'll figure out for myself why this is a thing. Well, TK is not doing this one, so I just let it lie. Christian Ward on the art is always kind of intriguing, but
he's only writing this, though. He's not doing the art.
He's not doing the art?
No.
So then I don't care. Man, his art is fantastic, man. Fantastic artist. So Superman Unlimited, Justice League Unlimited. No, not Superman Unlimited. It's not called Superman Unlimited.
It will be Superman Unlimited, the new one that Dan Slott is doing.
Huh.
You're thinking of Superman Unchained, which was the old one that they did.
No, that was a Jim Lee thing.
Yeah. And Scott Snyder.
Yeah. So there's a lot of Unlimited happening then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see in a trend right then. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. We got some more stuff in here. There's a lot going on. Let's see if I can scroll through.
We haven't even gotten to the biggest news from Comics Pro yet.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Let's see. Movies, comic movies, TV shows.
Marvel announced a new miniseries, Ultimate Spider-Man Incursions. Jonathan Hickman writing it. So we'll have universes colliding soon again.
Thank God. We need more Spider characters. Did y'all already talk about the Shazam John Kent controversy or not touching it? Not familiar.
Yeah.
Drop it in the chat. We'll talk about it, or we won't. Happy birthday, Monkey Sitting Love. Oh, I appreciate it, man. She's past Audi 5000 on the couch. So it's not Spider-Man Unlimited? That would sell. That was a cartoon, though.
And it was
Spider-Man Unlimited.
And they had a comic for a little while, I think, right? Didn't they?
Yeah. So about the Absolute comics, we're getting really closer to the second wave here. Flash, Martian Manhunter, Green Lantern. In the back of your comics this week, if you picked any up, you would have seen in the DC books at least Flash 3-page preview with art, colors, and text bubbles, full previews. And you don't get much, just a little teaser. But they also published a little teaser for Martian Manhunter. It's just in black and white. I'm assuming that's what it looks like in the book, though, at this point, just based on the covers we've seen with how they're playing with like prisms and color spectrums.
Where did you see that?
Where did I see this?
Yeah, that may have been from at Comics Pro. They did a Absolute Comics fall preview ashcan.
So that could be the ashcan. So that might be colored pages when it's done.
Right.
So I thought, like when I saw this, like it could be, or this would also be them playing with the genre. All the Absolute ashcans to this point so far have been black and white.
But I know that they did something just for the people that were there, and an Absolute Comics fall preview ashcan.
Yeah, I'm assuming that that's what this is from, though.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool. You just see him kind of walking around doing nothing much. But in the bottom corner there, we get what looks like to be the Martian, at least what we've seen on the covers. It's so interesting to see what kind of Martian is going to take shape for this series. If it's just some kind of like entity, if it's an actual physical Martian from Mars like we're used to. I think this one's going to be very, very, very different than what we might be expecting. I don't know. I'm excited for it all the same. All the promo posters arrived at ABX to hang up for the next wave of Absolute Comics. So far, so good. I'm excited to add 3 more to the list.
Me too.
Still high expectations for all these from you?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? If Martian Manhunter is different than all the others, I'll be okay with that too. You know.
Yeah, just as long as Gerard Jones isn't writing it, we're good.
We don't say his name.
Oh, I'm sorry. As long as Gigi isn't writing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
This is who is this? This is not Al Ewing, is it? Al Ewing is doing the Green Lantern one.
Yeah, Al
Dennis
Ewing
Camp. Dennis Camp, right? He's doing the Ultimates, I believe, for Marvel.
Oh, nice. And then because they're so close to him, the solicitations are out. And Paul at ABX was asking me if I had checked out the solicitations, and we started talking about the Flash one. But issue 1, you know, on the cover, the tag is like no family, no this, no that, just Wally. And then you look at that's like on the cover of issue 1, but you look at the solicitation for issue 2, and it just looks like he's being hunted down by his father. So I'm thinking there might be a twist in Absolute Flash where one of the rogues that we've already seen teased is it's going to be his father. I'm like, is Captain Cold going to be his dad?
Oh,
is that going to happen? Is that a thing?
You would think it would be Reverse Flash.
Yeah, that'd be even weirder.
Yeah.
Martian Manhunter will eat cars at the Blondie concert in the first comic. Anything with Etrigan, dude, not on the horizon at all. You know, I always keep an eye out for old Etrigan. I love me some of the Demon, but dude, that we need like some kind of like Justice League Dark level something anywhere really. Like we haven't really seen much of them in the All-In era since Zatanna here. And you know, they made brief appearances in Wonder Woman, like Bobo and stuff, but we'll see. Maybe fake news, but I read that there's a new Thing movie in the works with Wyatt Russell. That would be dope. That would be super dope. Gary B is in the chat. He could actually, I'm sure he'd be able to confirm that one or not. That's our resident The Thing aficionado. Keeping with Absolute Comics, one more. Scott Snyder announced and shared out that, and we've already known this, but Mr. Freeze is coming to Absolute Batman, but we had a picture of him. So he looks like this long-armed, vampiric-looking thing with what looks like syringes in his back with glowing blue something on them. What are you thinking of this design for Mr. Freeze?
It definitely is not the Oh My Poor Nora, Mr. Freeze. Yeah.
I immediately thought of Nosferatu. He's just not hung like Nosferatu. You can tell from the silhouette.
It's not the size of his icicle, it's how it melts.
Yeah, dude, what in the chat? What are y'all thinking of this Mr. Freeze? I know this is the Absolute Universe. Batman specifically is supposed to be a little more on the extreme side. Are y'all digging this? We had Absolute Black Mask, and we're still dealing with that, but we've got a good idea what that's like. We've seen a lot of the rogues in the Absolute Batman world are younger and haven't come into their villainy yet. But this is our second real villain we're seeing.
Yeah. And then I guess after that is when he's going to finally get to the Joker, I guess.
Yeah, I think isn't this a one-shot or a one-off story?
I think it's 2 issues, I think.
2, yeah. You had mentioned it previously when we were talking. Dr. Teeth from Batman New 52 looks like a rake. Gary B says Wyatt is against remaking his dad's movies. The last I heard him talk about it.
Oh,
yeah. So that's why Monarch was such a treat. He wasn't remaking nothing his dad was in. He was making something with his dad, which, man, how cool was that? Getting like them playing the same character and something. Yep. And do you remember who wrote that?
It was Matt Fraction.
Matt freaking Fraction, the guy who's bringing us the next run on Batman. That's super dope. But yeah, I would be, dude. I like both of the Thing movies, all 3 of them, even the old black and white one. Was it James Arness or something that played the Thing or something in that? Here's the big one from Comics Pro. We'll hit on this, and then there's some other news and stuff. But man, obviously the big one is this picture right here, which is the Jim Lee art for the DC Marvel crossover omnibus that they did. And this image specifically was shared around all over the interwebs. Dude, I must have had at least 15 people DM me this article, send me posts online showing me this, and I'm ridiculously excited about it. But I'm most excited about the fact that this picture that I grabbed right here, I pulled specifically off John Jang's timeline. John Jang shared this out saying, y'all hear the news? What are y'all excited to see in this? And I immediately put a comment. I said, I'm excited for you to draw amalgam characters. And he's like, oh, snap. So what they announced is there'll be 2 one-shots. DC will be putting one out, and Marvel will be putting one out. One titled, I think, DC versus Marvel, the other Marvel versus DC.
Right.
And we'll get a 2-issue crossover event. I don't know if it's just going to be standalone stories, if the 2 stories will be a continuation of each other, if there'll be single size issues, if there'll be square bounds. We don't know. Don't have much info other than it's happening.
Yeah. Seems like, I mean, it's been a while coming, but it seems as though it was pretty much Dan DiDio and Joe Quesada who were the two people in the past who were stopping it from happening.
Shooter was throwing a big monkey wrench in it back in the day too. Not necessarily, I mean, like back in his time era, because even when they did the Heroes Initiative version of Justice League versus the Avengers,
he was supposedly the one that caused the first one to go bye-byes.
Yeah, Jim Shooter was having a field day, from what the notes in the back said, because they showed the original pages that George drew before Shooter put a halt to it. He was having continuity and quality concerns about the whole project that kind of just threw it off to the point that it didn't go into production at that time. But I mean, I can't even imagine what kind of uphill battle did they have to climb and go through to make stuff like this happen with all the bureaucratic business BS. Yeah, it's crazy. What happens if you give a lawyer Viagra? He gets taller. Yeah, they're the worst. The absolute worst. And I do know they're working on the Thing game, which was kind of a part 2 to the movie. I saw that too today in my feed for something. It was like a Thing video game, and it comes with a movie with it. Original release on Xbox Original. There you go. And what is going on collecting with Durs is in the building? You know the rules. We read the whole chat for Durs. Enjoy the night, legends, and stay pimpin' chat. Fire, fire, fire. ABX, ABX, ABX. Stay pimpin' to you too, Dursy.
Go have your Mountain Dew.
Yes. Do the do. Can McFarlane make amalgam superpower figures to tie in? That would rule. Dude, I would like him to do the 7-inch scale figures, like full detailed accessories. Give us Super Soldier, Dark Claw, Lobo the Duck. Give us as many as you can, but I don't think that would ever happen.
Yeah, because he's not doing. I mean, he's not really doing the figures for Marvel. He's doing the statues for Marvel. So he'd have to get probably the permission to do the figures as well. But I can't imagine that whoever's doing them right now would want to give that up.
Yeah, Hasbro has the Legends figure, and I saw where Hasbro was, man, in toy news, man. I don't know how I listened to someone talk about it, then it completely glossed over it until you just mentioned it there. But I believe that Hasbro is about to back off of so much toy making. I think they're losing a lot of the plot or something, the audience or whatever. While McFarlane is selling out figures every time he drops them.
He's making dollar bill angels in his living room.
Living the dream. Hey, if you're gonna come for the king, you got to come correct. And McFarlane's been the king of toys since the early '90s. It ain't changing no time.
Make sure you don't miss if you come.
Yeah, where you get a whole all winter scenario. Yeah, they came for the king and they missed. I'd be down for a lot more superpower figures. Yeah, there's I don't share them publicly, but I keep up with the leak slate and announcement. And I share them with Paul. I'm like, hey, guess what? Not all of them, but the ones that get excited about together. And there's more. I don't know if y'all remember when they did the Charlton Superpowers 3-pack that had Vigilante, Peacemaker, and Judo Master together. There's another 3-pack coming. They announced a lot of, not announced, but it leaked. And what it is somebody that clearly works in some form or fashion along the McFarlane food chain. And they just take a photo of the sheet of what's coming out for the year, and it'll fall off the back of a truck, and then it'll find its way to the proper channels that share it out there that fully support financially McFarlane Toys. Like the people that I get this information from are the same people that buy so many McFarlane Toys. They get them before other people, kind of thing. And they're never wrong, ever. Not once have they been wrong. 100% of the time correct, about 100% of the figures announced. And Kingdom Come Green Lantern was the one that I'm like, Paul, guess what? So timeline-wise, from the time of me seeing the leaks, it'll probably be, I don't know, 6 months or something like that, around there before they start officially getting announced, rolled out. But I'm excited for it. They did the Kingdom Come Batman figure as a one-off figure, gold label, like last year sometime, maybe the year before even. And that they stopped there. They haven't done anymore. But getting Alan Scott in the Kingdom Come armor, let's go.
Yeah. And you know what I mean? I mean, if Alex Ross has this Kingdom Come movie coming out, the documentary. It's like all those.
Remember what they did with the special edition? You got the regular, and the special edition was called the Emerald Edition with like the design of Alan Scott's Space Fortress on it. Like,
right. It's like I don't think that it's any. It's not a coincidence that DC and Marvel just put out these two omnibuses. And now suddenly they're going to do. You can glean a lot of information just by taking a look at books, at hardcovers that they're putting out down the road, because they do a lot of those things in conjunction with maybe new series that are coming out or whatever those things happen to be.
Yeah. Here we go. Hasbro has stopped making toys and licensing out to smaller companies to make them take all the financial risk off yourself and just collect smaller paychecks. There you go. McFarlane, man, I don't think he's not going to like be beholden to someone like that, though. He's gonna be like, I'm gonna need the license. I'm gonna need to hold that license for you. Let me hold it. But he's got his foot in the door with Transformers, with G.I. Joe, with Marvel. Like, if y'all be paying attention, you see what's happening. Like, he's slow building the old, not a takeover, but his product per price point is superior. The fan base is like there, and it doesn't go anywhere, but he got the DC line and he took it to the next level from Mattel had it, I think, right before McFarlane. And these were great figures, like great figures. But what McFarlane done is created this consistency and just, he doesn't slow down. Then he does the statues that are affordable. And then he got the page punchers started. And then he did the Transformers page punchers, Pacific Rim page punchers. He started the G.I. Joe page punchers. And I think he announced that he even has Power Rangers ones coming. When it was, who was it that dropped the Power Rangers? Hasbro dropped Power Rangers. I don't even think they farmed it out. They dropped the license. They lost it because Netflix bought all the Power Rangers stuff. They're in full creative control of the Power Rangers stuff.
And the amazing thing is that's only half of his empire. His other empire are all the sports figures that he does.
Yeah. And the movie maniacs, and there aren't even maniacs anymore. The sports stuff. He's doing UFC statues and stuff, not just baseball and football. That's not even counting comic book stuff that he has. It's wild, man. He's literally the most successful pop culture guy we have these days. He's it. That's why he dresses like Jim Steranko now. He started doing that this past year. He's like, I'm going to wear a turtleneck and a blazer. Yeah. I expect him to pull out a deck of cards every time I see a picture of him.
No pictures.
No pictures. Hasbro is selling $5 figures for $30 while McFarlane is dropping $50 figures for $30. That's the best way to describe it. And what I think is funny, because I'm a diehard McFarlane guy, and that's not new. That goes back to my childhood. Like his toys, especially if you were paying attention to toys in the 90s, when McFarlane dropped his toys, it changed the game, not just for the adult collectors, but for kids who walked into a toy store and went, wait, what? Because you're looking at a level of detail on toys. You're looking at figures like, you're like, I can't believe they just made like this Jason Voorhees figure that looks like it should be behind a black curtain. I'm only 8. Am I allowed to look at this toy kind of thing? But it was just wild. You always see the quality. You can see the money on the toy, but it's wild seeing the comment section because you always have, like, for whatever reason, people who are haters. I don't know how you can be a toy company hater. Like, that's seriously something. If you don't like it, why would you even follow it? Like, there's no story to be read. There's no continuity ruined. But they're like, pinless joints. Why do these things still have joints? Like, why can't I see your toys' hips? Like, their inner thigh hips. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
And there are just as many people who want to buy Todd McFarlane figures to play with them as there are that want to keep them pristine in their box.
Why you call me out like that? Dude, I got a whole rack of them unboxed right here.
Yeah.
What's cool, it goes from Superpowers to DC Direct to McFarlane.
Right. But you get people that will buy 2 of them. One so they can play with, the other one they can keep in their box. Nice and pristine.
And I've talked about it before. The toys that I get, man, I don't tell Finn or Monkey. No, Avatar. Mm-hmm. He has the license for Avatar toys. Mm-hmm. Done. But I don't tell Finn and Monkey no about my toys. Like a hot toy, that's a little different. But the rest of them, they know, like if they're like the ones on my shelf that They can clean up the room and they can play with whatever they want to in the room, and when they're done, they can put it up. But that's what I like about the repackageable window boxes. You can slide, you just cut the tape, open it, take them out, and package them right back up and put them in, and they don't really lose their resale value. I haven't seen any that like, oh, boxes open, figures complete, it's cheaper now. Like I've looked, I've tried to score some like that because I know I'm going to open them and put them on my shelf, but they really hold their value. Did you ever go back and look up that Platinum Spectre? Out of the box, like $250.
Really?
It's crazy.
Wow.
We got lucky with those. Because Super 7 Reaction, Micronauts' first 2 figures are coming out next month. Got them pre-ordered. Nice.
There you go.
They dropped the Secret Identity Superman Superpower figure that has Soups and Clark. Nice. The Secret Identity ones are really cool. DC directed Secret Identities line. I've got the Batman one where you can pop the head off, and then you set the cowl on his neck that's like, like it's like he's taking it off and hung it, and you put the Bruce Wayne head on. They're pretty cool. Yeah, Hasbro is moving away from a lot of toy making now because COVID. They lost out on a lot of sales, not to mention the whole going plastic-free crap they did. It hurt their sales big time. Yeah, it did. Because it was all a scam. They wanted to take their most high-priced figures, go as low scale as they could, and do out their customers. Meanwhile, the crappiest Star Wars figures that weren't selling were still getting retro packs and window boxes. It was absolute BS what they did to their fans. And not just fans, that's their money. Like these companies, you have the company, you have their fake bank, which is where they keep their money, and you have their real bank, which is their consumers. You can't mess with the real bank. Like the fake bank you got is just a buffer to your real bank. When it comes to businesses like that, they forget so quick. These movie companies, like toy companies, we are your bank. You eat because you make us happy. They work for the consumers. They forget that sometimes. It's weird. And Mego still come out. They still make those. A lot of horror movies, a lot of Star Trek, individual sellers and marketplace. Not to mention the fact that they keep raising their prices all the time, where McFarlane and Mattel have not changed their prices. No, they hadn't changed them. You're looking at an average of like $20 for a base figure, $25 for the collector edition, and $25 to $30 based on a Build-A-Figure wave. It's pretty much like price per pound almost. Like the more the box weighs, the more the figure costs. Like they're charging you for the plastic that's in it. I just wish the pay punchers were 3.75 instead of 3. It drives me bonkers that they're so close but so far. Yeah, I saw for the first time this weekend the King Kong Batman 2-pack in person. Yo, I thought I was going to pass on that thing. I'm like, yeah, I don't like Kong's not articulated enough. Then I saw it in person. I'm like, that dude is a lot bigger than I thought. And the fact that he comes with the 7-inch scale Batman and the 3, I'm like, yo, the perspective now of Kong and that little Batman looks amazing. I'm like, dude, I'm going to have that. And you've already seen where they've got more bang for their buck and did the Titano with Flash coming soon.
Really?
They took the Kong mold, tweaked the Kong mold a little bit so they can do a Titano. And I'm just like, dude, I got to get the Kong one and just get that financially out of the way and prep for the Godzilla one, because Godzilla's going to sell out everywhere, like off rip. When he drops a Godzilla one, over. Kong's got a fan base, but Godzilla's got a fan base. But man, it looked good. I didn't pick it up because I was already grabbing other stuff that I'm like, I got to get these. There's only one of these. Talk McFarlane is after D&D from Hasbro.
Wow.
Video game stuff and fantasy toys as well. He's our Stan Lee 100%. From the creator angle, from like the community interaction, from the fan love, just he's it. He's Stan Lee if he didn't rob everyone else's ideas. Because Todd, whether you like it or not, the guy comes up with a lot of his own stuff, and he sticks with it. Spawned a real business empire. He sure did, Pop. McFarlane and Janko were the only toy companies making video game IPs 2000s to 2010. I forgot about Janko. He sure did, Pop. He is smart. I'm a player, not a displayer. There you go. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. He does make quality stuff. It's Morphin Time. What is going on, Steve? What's going on, Kevin? Wellbore, hello. Good to see y'all in here. Get caught up. Has McFarlane ever done a Terminator line of figures? Just the movie Maniacs that I know of. I think I don't know if NECA holds any actual license or if they just license out to do the NECA figures, which are amazing, by the way. They do break easy. You got to be careful with those. They're more of like collectible than they are action figure. You definitely don't want to play with them. But McFarlane did the Terminator movie Maniacs back in the day, but I don't know about anything beyond that. Everyone knows when it comes to McFarlane Toys these days, boxes, hell, free the plastic. Don't think so, Gary. Not 100. Thanks, Mike. McFarlane Movie Maniacs has a lot of the term. Yeah. And since then, NECA, I'm corrected. That's why I love superpowers. $10 is a sweet spot for me. Yeah, and you can catch a lot of those for a little bit cheaper because, man, there's no short supply of like McFarlane figures. You might not find the one that you're looking for, but you'll find some at least.
They did a 3-pack of the Justice Society that I want to get.
Has it released yet?
I think so. It was Starman and Green Lantern and Hourman. I think it was those 3. I think.
Yeah, I didn't know if that released yet.
I thought it did.
It might have. I don't know. I try not to go down the superpower rabbit hole because I'll go down. I still got a lot of my original ones. I got Aquaman, Dr. Fate, Superman, Green Lantern, Flash. But man, they make it really hard with like the new figures and then the new styles on them and stuff. Yeah, the price point is sweet. I'm really into action figures lately. I don't know why. Nothing wrong with it, homie. Nothing wrong with it. February 26th, the Flash one drops. There you go. The 2-pack with Titano. Inflatable love dolls are not action figures. You're talking Steve. It depends on who you ask, Pop.
Exactly.
Well, you can buy 2 to 3 superpowers for the same price as 1 Marvel Legends or whatever. Yeah, it's super fair. The Transformers figures in the 90s were McFarlane. I have Terminatrix and a few Terminators. Yeah, those were the movie Maniac stuff, I believe. And before then, the same company, like this is early 90s before McFarlane got them when they, they did the Terminator line based off the T2 movie, and then they just expanded the toy line and based it off some of the novels like Future War, which like the 3-part, like oversized novels. They were thick boys, but they got a lot of mileage out of those Terminator toys, which I've completed my Aliens toy rebuy stuff donezo. So I'm going to be stepping into getting some of the original Terminator figures next. Loose. I don't want them in box. I want them loose with as many accessories I can find with them. But I want to rebuy certain ones like John Connor with his motorcycle and just like 3 of the Arnolds that I had. I pretty much just want to get the ones I had as a kid and maybe 1 or 2 I didn't. Like I need to get Arnold's motorcycle again because my brother had that and it was a blast. I want the Starman figure. Jay Garrick Superpower figures pre-ordered on Amazon. I want the 3-pack. It's released. Rhino's Comics has it. The JLA look nice. There you go. Once a McFarlane figure bites me, I may be in for it. Dude, all it takes is 1. Did you do any Dark Horse IPs like Sin City, Mask, Concrete? I don't remember who did the Sin City figures, but there's been like Marv figures and stuff like that out. I don't remember any Concrete though. I don't know. Head to Barnyard. I see a lot of people selling loose figures all the time. Oh, nice. Dude, we got to get up and go hunting together, man. We got to go meet up at the flea market or something. You live too close for us to not do stuff. I'd also like more of the modern characters as well in the superpower line. Yeah, they do a good job of balancing it. Is 3 Arnolds really enough? It might not be. It might not be, but that's not counting the T800 exoskeletons, which there's a few. There's just a standard one, and then there's the battle damage one that's like black and glow in the dark material. There's the T1000 to get, which there's 2 of those. There's the one that's in the police officer motorcycle outfit, and you push the button and it like crumbles, and then you have the actual Robert Patrick looking one with the 1 knife arm and stuff that also push a button and it comes apart and stuff. So 3 Arnolds doesn't mean there won't be a lot of Terminator toys.
Is there a button on one of the Arnolds you can push and it'll like?
Oh, that would be great. When there kind of is. So what I felt like was the most classic T2 Arnold. He's got like black pants, a black vest on, like his sleeves are just regular arms, and he's got like a pinkish red shirt on under the vest. And he's got battle damage on him and battle damage on half his face. But his arm comes off where you can put an all metal arm on with a cannon that shoots a missile. But when you put the human arm on him, it's got some battle damage, and it's got this little thing you can slide up on his forearm, and a blade comes out. So it's almost like he's giving you the finger, not the thumb. But yeah, it reminded me of RoboCop because it's just like, RoboCop can pull the blade out and stab a TV and somehow work a TV. It's like that. Yeah, I think McFarlane did do the Walking Dead line. I'm pretty sure there's a butt on all the Arnolds, Paul. There might be. Exploding Terminator. I have a video of the Terminators I have from Kenner. Dude, shoot me the link. I'd definitely check it out. I just watched the first Terminator again last week. Yeah, I haven't even shared it yet. I've been slowly sharing on my IG, like Steelbook stuff, like really trying to incorporate more of the movie collecting that I do, especially now that I'm into the Steelbook stuff. I'm getting more physical media regularly. But I've completed all the Terminator movies in the highest definition available on Steelbook. Terminator 3 isn't available at all on Steelbook yet, but Terminator 1 came out a few months ago, and I've got it. Haven't watched it since it came in. Terminator 2, I've got, what was it after that? I went and got Salvation on Steelbook, and then Genesis, Dark Fate. And unfortunately, Terminator 0 was a Netflix show, so the only way to get a physical copy of that at all is for means that I don't think you're allowed to advertise.
Right.
But they're also, you just buy them on eBay. I'm like, how do they allow these to sell? Yes, sir.
So I saw this like little clip that we Godzilla, and he said, which of these 3 places do you like the best? And
was it Tokyo?
No, there was McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King, and I like all 3.
Which one do you like the best?
And do you know what he ate all 3 of the buildings.
He ate the whole building? Oh my gosh.
And you know what?
What?
He said, I like McDonald's.
Ew. He must like chicken nuggets. That's why. So there you go. Godzilla prefers McDonald's, Finn says.
There you go.
That's it. Salvation.
Kaiju has spoken.
Sarah Connor, yes. Bang. Yeah. There's the first 20 minutes of Terminator 1. I heard the song, Another One Bites the Dust. I actually just ordered the Steelbook of the Thing video game remastered. There you go. There you go. Good stuff. So yeah, we were plattering on about Toys for a while. Let me show you what I picked up. So the Adventurous one, Joseph Michaels, our good friend, is here in the chat. He sent a fantastic care package to the kids for Monkey's birthday and some stuff for Finn. And he had some stuff in there for me. And I let them open up the box on their channel because a lot of cool stuff in there. And this is one that without him, I would have completely missed. I was working when the drop happened. And like we said, McFarlane figures sell out before they release. And this one didn't just sell out on McFarlane. It sold out everywhere. Christopher Reeve Superman looks absolutely amazing. The pictures look cool. Obviously, he doesn't have the over muscular frame. It's Christopher Reeve. But in hand, dude, did you get yours in yet?
I did. I got it from the Big Bad Toy Store.
Dude, I didn't expect it to look this good in hand. I thought I knew what I was getting into, but nope. It's spot on. And because it's the collector series, comes with multiple hands and a second face where he's kind of more scowling. But I can't wait. This one is getting opened. I told Pops I need to get like an American flag, and I want to get that hand right there that's pointing, change that hand right there out for the pointing hand, and display him with the American flag behind him to make the iconic photo of him standing in front of the flag pointing, and never move him again. Just boom. And the back of it, of course, that's Superman. Absolutely. Look at his eyes. They're symmetrical.
Both of them looking straight at you.
Superman looks straight ahead with both eyes. Just not all Superman. So then, like I mentioned earlier, I took the kids to Second and Charles for Monkey's birthday because they were asking the day before her birthday to go to Second and Charles, and we had stuff to do, karate stuff or something like that. It was late. But when I get there, there's a huge McFarlane wall. And that's where I saw the King Kong. That's where I saw multiple Green Lantern figures that I didn't have yet. I did put the Platinum Guy Gardner back because buying 3 McFarlane figures on a whim while I'm shopping for the kids is a little excessive, even for me. So what I did was I checked eBay, the secondary market. I'm like, can I acquire these at any time I want for the same price? And the answer was yes. The Platinum Series Guy Gardner, standard price figure on the secondary market. There's tons of them out there. So I can reacquire it whenever. But I did get the regular one in this week, which looks fantastic. Big shout out to Pop for going to pick it up from Best Buy, where me and Paul had to hit the trenches to pre-order this one. So Paul messages me when these things release, and I'm at work. Paul will shoot me a message. Got mine? You get one, because a lot of the very limited in the ones I get, but a lot of the same ones me and Paul do pick up. He doesn't display a lot, but this guy's got figures. Don't let him fool you. He's got figures. But as soon as he messaged me, I didn't even respond. I just jumped straight on the website. It was sold out. And I messaged him and said, "No, it's sold out." He goes, "Yeah, I didn't get one either." I'm like, "Oh, snap." So I went straight to the post where it said now selling or whatever, pre-sales live. And I was reading some of the comments and stuff, and I saw a comment with a lot of replies on it. So I hit the replies and started reading it. And down in there, someone said, "Yo, go to Best Buy's website. They got some." So I immediately messaged Paul, "Hey, go to Best Buy's website. Here's the link." And we both pre-ordered from Best Buy for the first time for both of us, I believe.
Yeah.
Smooth process. They send you updates along the way, which was cool. Hey, this should be in store on this date. A week later, hey, things are moving. This is the new projected date. Hey, it's on the way. Hey, it's here and getting ready. We'll let you know when to come pick it up. It was a great little process. And this is awesome because this is the first one that I've got in my collection with the multiple face plates.
Mm-hmm.
And not just that, you can get the bowl cut, which he does not have in the movie. And you can put the bowl cut on him because on the figure, which I appreciate, he's wearing the hairstyle that most of us are used to seeing at this point. But that's dang good looking figure right there.
Yeah.
So I got that. And in the same week, go to Second and Charles and see the platinum version of him in the blue suit, as well as one that I missed a while back. And I was sad I missed it. It was just, again, irresponsible timing. But Simon freaking Baz was there. Again, this is the collector's one, so it comes with all kinds of accessories and faceplate change out. So you could get smile, scowl, growling, whatever. But one thing he doesn't come with is what he's most known for carrying with him, which is unfortunate. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and order one of the armory packs that McFarlane sells. When DC, well, it wasn't DC, it was Warner Brothers, stopped allowing their figures to carry firearms. McFarlane's like, understandable. These are your characters. We don't want to misrepresent your company in any way. So what I'll do is I'll release armory packs, which is just a variety pack of different weapons. And what's cool is like he did the DC Frankenstein mega figure a long time ago. In the armory pack, he includes the specific one-of-a-kind gun that character carries. And he's done the same thing with numerous figures that he releases when he does an armory pack. He'll do their exact specific, this is clearly theirs and no one else's firearm in that armory pack. So you can get it and actually put it with the proper figure. And this one, this is a journey, but I was happy that this is the one they had. They released these, they announced these at a convention a while back, but they're expanding their core in a unique way by doing just ones they're calling Green Lantern. Obviously, it's Tomar Ray, probably the most famous alien Green Lantern out there. Made it into the live action movie.
It's got the two most famous one because you can swap out the head and put Abin Sur there instead.
Yeah. And what was it? Jeffrey Gregory Rush? Captain Barbossa from Pirates of the Caribbean played Tomar Ray in the movie. But here's the crazy part is the swappable head in this is Abin Sur, the Green Lantern that Hal Jordan inherited his ring from. The downside to this is, like they said earlier, these are meant to be played with. I like to take them out and display them. Abin Sur doesn't have a body now.
Right.
So I have to buy a second one of these and put the Abin Sur head on it. But and the crazier part is they did a platinum version where it comes with two other heads and a different suit. So with two packages, you get 4 different varieties of Green Lantern. So ultimately, by doing this one release, you get 4 different figures you need to buy. So this is one of 4 that I'll ultimately have. No rush on these. I want these cheap or less than cheap price, but super glad that this is the first one that I came across because it's obviously the notable known Green Lanterns. I couldn't even name the 2 that are in the platinum version, but it's really cool stuff. How much do the armory packs sell for? And is this new or been around? They've done 2 separate ones. They've been around for a while now. I think they've done like 1 a year. So they've been out for a few years. Armory pack number 1 sold out like fast. And Like people who were on the secondary market bought like stacks of them and eBayed them. The second armory pack has more of the stuff like what I was describing, with very specific weapons meant for figures that were released between the armory pack. The first one has more traditional stuff. Like you'd put like Peacemaker's gun is Armory Pack 1. Frankenstein's Armory Pack 2. But they've been around for a while. I think you can still get Armory Pack 2 off of his website. Armory Pack 1 you can't. But it'd be something in my mind that he would just keep turning out. But he did it. Like we made him. There it is. Jeffrey Rush. Yep.
Rush. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know why I never bit the bullet and got it. Like I got that big special edition box set for Suicide Squad, and like Bloodsport's in there and doesn't have any weapons. He does come with the fold out swords that he had in the film. Peacemaker's in there. Doesn't come with she came with the sword, which he was rocking in the Onslaught scene where they're.
I can see why Baz would not come with a gun, because he doesn't necessarily it's not a big part. But
it's a safety blanket.
If you're buying a Peacemaker figure, you kind of expect that. Yeah.
Yeah, you want that long boy.
Yeah.
And in my mind, the Simon Baz figure most definitely should. But McFarlane has done a workaround at this point. Yeah. He's figured out how to work around this problem. And I forgot about it. I ordered it when we were on vacation last year, Paul. Remember Jonah Hex dropped while we were on vacation. And that's still boxed down here. I haven't opened it yet either. And that was a special edition that comes with General, his horse. Comes with swords, revolvers, all kinds of stuff. But on the box, he put not a toy. It's a DC multiverse 7-inch figure, just like all the rest. But he just decided to slap on the box, not a toy, and include firearms with it. $10 for pack 2, not bad. Yeah, I just gotta break down and get it. And then they announced this week the Killing Joke figure. Did you see that?
I did not.
It comes with the trench coat, the hat, the camera that you can hold in his hand, the camera you can hang on his neck, and Pew Pew. And a special kind of base with like the iconic Killing Joke cover that you can stand up on the base behind him. So he's found a workaround. He's doing the not a toy kind of thing. Just do what you got to do. In all reality, it's not slowing down the sales of his figures at all.
Right.
But it sure would be nice to have him in there. It just really would. I think I've got the Red Hood Nightwing 2-pack from New 52, and Nightwing was rocking the red. Red Hood has the holsters with both his Pew Pews in there. Any Red Hood that came out after that does not come with them. I think some of them even had empty holsters. Thomas Wayne Batman, the first one came with him proper. The unmasked version was after the change, where all he could come with was a sword. So there's some characters you really expect it, because Thomas Wayne Batman carried the twins,
right? Just
like Batman did when he first came out. So the same thing in my reviews that are now up on my channel for the Batman Forever Wave. Oh, so that's why Two-Face doesn't have a gun with those Spin Master retro figures. Dude, the original one, it didn't even come out of his hand. It was part of the mold. Like it stayed in his hand. But those new figures are awesome. I only bought the Batmobile, but my friend Avian Savage was puzzled about the lack of gun. Yep. Yeah. What was it? Like the new one had, one of them I think had a coin molded into one of the hands. So it's like he's about to flip the coin, which I thought was super cool for display purposes.
And imagine one they would have to give Jack Nicholson's Joker. That could only be like this long.
Just mold it coming out of his pants.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious. Oh man. All right. Let's switch over and talk about some of these exciting visual media, some news about movies and shows. Let's see what we got here. I thought that this was wildly interesting. We talked about this movie before it came out. We talked about it at the release last week. If you missed the whole discussion on Captain America Brave New World, aka Captain America 4, be sure to check out last week's episode. We have a special panel breaking down our thoughts on the film. But before that, we did talk about how it was tracking at the box office in China, specifically how its pre-sales were at $300 and something thousand, which out pre-sold a lot of stuff in that market, which was very impressive. But we said, well, we're going to have to see how it does in a week, or see how it does when it releases. Well, it released to mixed reviews. Honest to God, like straight down the middle, it seems mixed reviews. People had fun with it, or people hated it. There's a few psychos out there. It's like, oh, it's fantastic. It's amazing. It's not. It's fun. I enjoyed it. It is what it is. It wasn't good compared to a lot of the other MCU stuff, which that is our measuring stick. Right. We don't have to measure it against other stuff. We can measure it against its own cinematic universe it exists inside of. But I enjoyed it enough. I gave it about a 5.55. Right, slap dab in it. I gave it a yellow.
I was gonna say I believe it was a yellow.
Yeah, I gave it a yellow. If we're being 100% honest, just yellow. You got a yellow right there in the middle. But the interesting thing was the movie was tracking for a $90 million opening. That was what the predictions had for the domestic box office. It ended the domestic box office with a $95 million opening weekend, which people were praising like, oh, it exceeded expectations. Well, for a Marvel release weekend on a 4-day holiday weekend, 90 million is minuscule. 95 million is minuscule. For context, a lot of these things drop hundreds of $1 million on opening weekends typically. This movie did 190 something million worldwide opening weekend, but in its first week it managed to pass The Marvels, which is the lowest grossing MCU film to date with only 200 something million worldwide. It did nothing. And this one passed it by only pulling in just over 7 million in its second week. This movie saw an 84% drop from week 1 to 2, looking at the biggest drop that we've seen from any MCU film yet. This movie is dead on arrival, and it's not even. They reported the budget of 180 million, which we talked about how that's a lie. Apparently, that was the reshoot budget, is what kind of came to light since last week. Remember how we kind of talked about that? Well, how do you know? And I said because I followed the budget as they released it along the way. That 180 reported million, they lied. Like we talked about, that was the reshoot budget, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But this is this.
You could make 15 Godzilla -1s.
You can make a lot of them, can't you? Hey, good news. The director of Godzilla -1 is actively working on the script for the next one, which man, oh man. And also, I'm not going to get into it tonight, but the next Godzilla Kong movie, Monsterverse project, I went through the plot tonight or earlier today. I went through the plot leaks of that. And the person reported the plot leaks of it, the same person that reported them for Godzilla X Kong and Godzilla versus Kong. And he was like about 90% accurate to what he reported. Because, I mean, stuff changes along the way. But it sounds fantastic. Seems like it's going to be massive. But it's also going to be leaning back into the more kind of somber, serious tone. You know, like that's what's cool about these long-running franchises. You can switch them up from time to time. But, yeah, this was mind-blowing, though, for it to drop that much in the second week. That's crazy. It looked like everyone who was really interested in seeing it saw it in the first weekend, and wasn't a lot. I thought Incredible Hulk 2 was fun, like Craven. Yeah. When we're comparing them to Craven, the Marvels, it's really just, what does that tell you? Like when there's the online conversation, when the chats that people are having in comment sections are, well, it was better than Thor 4. So, you know, I broke my arm one time. I also broke my shoulder. Breaking my arm was better than breaking my shoulder. Healed a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is either one of those good? I mean,
right.
Like, oh my gosh, I stepped in dog crap. At least you didn't step in 2 piles. Like, man. So I don't know. Like, in the grand scheme of things, the Spider-Man show that's on TV, people are giving some positive feedback too, but I don't think it's being viewed in the numbers that that they were expecting. This is dead on arrival. What else have we gotten this year from Marvel? Because there's 9 projects. Oh, What If?
Right.
What If season 3 was a huge turd for the people that watched it. So they're not doing too good this year with so many projects, but hot on the heels of this year where they have 2 freaking mini things coming out. And even the that famous video game designer, I'm going to butcher his name.
From Rivals, right? Marvel Rivals?
I don't know who he is, but he's some famous video game guy. He went and saw this and shared his thoughts on social media stating, I don't remember. He said, I vaguely remember Sam Wilson receiving the shield from Steve Rogers. I don't remember him becoming Captain America. I wonder if that's because I didn't watch Falcon and Winter Soldier. And he kind of talked on how the story was all over the place. And it was kind of, his remarks were kind of picked up and talked about, just kind of asking, like, is this a problem that the MCU has found itself in, where it's established, built up lore for so long is no longer helping service the projects they're releasing, but it's hindering them? Because there's a whole generation of people who have bailed off this stuff. There's a whole group of people who feel slighted by this stuff and don't watch it as their form of, like, talk with your wallet kind of thing. And then there's like at this point, at least 2 generations of people that have entered the MCU before, well after it started. They weren't here for the early stuff. So they don't have the same, it doesn't have the same impact in that sense. But
yeah, I brought up Rivals because I thought you were going to go with the Marvel Rivals, which has been getting some pretty good press for video games. Apparently, they laid off the entire group that did Marvel Rivals.
The whole group?
Yep.
Thought that video game was like crushing it.
Yeah.
People in our circles, they talk about it a lot. I know Flo's big with that. Like he talks about it a lot. I think he made a handful of videos on it and stuff. And yeah. But 9 projects this year, 3 down, 6 to go. Fantastic Fours in there. Daredevil. I'm very hopeful for Daredevil. I think Fantastic Four is another turd. Just I'm not seeing anything like I want it to be good. But I don't know. I don't have much faith in that at all. They laid off the American temp group that helped with some level design. Okay. AR said, I suck at Rivals. I just got back from Cap 4. That movie was awesome. The fight scenes are really cool. I like his wing fu. There you go. I love your positivity. Like I said, I had fun watching it, but I'm not delusional where I would say it holds up to the same standards of everyone wants that Infinity Saga level standards. And that's fair. That is super fair to want that level of storytelling, of character depth, be able to get connected with these folks. And we don't have it. And it's not because it's disjointed or this movie didn't do this or that. It's just the writers aren't writing as good. The choreographers aren't choreographing as good and stuff. You can tell that Captain America 4 really felt like it was more in line with like the D+ show kind of effects and choreography than like a Winter Soldier. But I still had fun with it. I still enjoyed it. But seeing that 84% drop off in week 2 is scary. Our good friend J-Med is more involved with films than an average person because I don't want to put his business out there because he doesn't put his business out there. So it's not my job. Just know that he knows what he's talking about with this stuff. And when it comes to studios, they don't watch for that total box office growth. They don't care about that opening weekend number. Of course, they want to see high numbers, but what they look at specifically when a movie releases is the week 1 to 2 drop off. And as soon as that week 2 drop off occurs, they know exactly what their film is going to do unless you're Top Gun Maverick or Avatar, which they don't have drop-offs to begin with. Those ones just run forever at a consistent pace. But that's a death nail for them because what they look for is a 30-something% drop-off for a successful film. When you see that, you see a movie that after that first week, people talked about to other people to the point that they were encouraged to go see it. That's what
it needs to have legs.
That's the term, legs. She got legs. What is going on, S-Fun? It was just a good, fun movie. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I agree with that. Catch it in 3D if you can.
You mentioned Avatar. I'm sure you saw what.
Dude, I'm building an entire video for Avatar. I've been caching data and information on that, and you saw what I posted today, right? I even posted it on mine. You talking about what the GOAT said? About what James Cameron said? The title.
I saw his post. I didn't see your post, but about the AI.
Yeah, the title card.
Yeah.
When Avatar 3 starts, James Cameron is running a title card over the screen that says no generative AI was used in the making of this masterpiece you're about to watch. He's not going to put masterpiece, but he's putting up an AI disclaimer to let the audience know that he paid people with talent to do what they have trained for years to do the art for this film to come to life, which I think is super awesome. Was just super disappointed with the leader's look for once. I wanted the cheesy CGI. Yeah, I was kind of bummed out with his capabilities. He's like, I'm a mathematical probabilist specialist. Then he goes on to get nothing right for the whole movie. It was kind of odd. Dude, I just like watching Falcon and like watching Captain America do Falcon stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just cool. Like watching him ride that missile. That was super dope. At least you get to play at AR. I don't own gaming PC, nor do I have a PS5 or Xbox Series X to play the game on. I don't own them either, buddy. I'm still catching hell for my Cap 4 review on Reels. Yeah, I hope it never stops, Marcus, because you love the engagement. That was hilarious. That was a great reel that you put out. It was honest. You had multiple people giving perspective, and yeah, some of those comments in your chat are a perfect example of I think toxic positivity that has been a term that's been used to describe it before. You can't just like something because you feel like it's the right thing to do. I mean, sure, you can, you know what I'm saying? You know how you feel about it. If you're just saying it's good because you think like you don't want to be mean or this and that, you're just lying. Like everyone else who saw the movie saw the same movie. Like they know it's not as good as this or that. Because there's some things are objective. It's not an opinion that Winter Soldier is a better movie than Captain America 4. It's just not. That's a fact.
Are you telling us how you feel, or are you giving us your opinion?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. And I try to point out all the time, like I like to look at movies two different ways. Like you can try to like kind of talk about it on a critical level. Then you could talk about it on an enjoyment level. Craven was a bad movie. I had a lot of fun watching it. Both of those things can be true. Both of them can be true. Marcus, if you are catching hell for it, it means you are doing something honest and correct. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. It really is. The main issue is that people's standards are so low that the Marvel is the standard. That is the problem. Yeah, as soon as someone says something, it was better than the Marvels or better than Thor 4, I stepped in dog shit, but at least I didn't step in two piles. Wild thing to compare it to. Let's see, there's a couple other things on here. Yeah, here we go. So hot on the heels, and you mentioned this, Paul, when I was talking about Disney going too hard, too fast for this year with 9 properties. You're like, Mark, chill out. I'm a Disney shill. I want you to know that. I have the shirt to prove it. I just can't find it. I don't know where it went. I think the kids ran off with it, but I am a Disney shill. It's been confirmed. Someone sent me the shirt that says it. So this is all honest criticism here. But 9 properties this year, and Paul told me to chill out. You saw this stuff, though?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So they're scaling back. They're scaling back. Nova, what was it? Terror Inc. and Strange Academy have been put on the shelf. So, I mean, Ironheart's coming out this year, and that got shelved for years. So, I mean, assuming these will come out eventually, they got nothing else to make.
Yeah, I think the difference with Ironheart is Ironheart it got produced, it got filmed, everything was done, and then they decided, we don't really like it, we're going to put it on the shelf. But none of these have even gone into any of the production parts, or at least the filming anything, as far as I know.
You know what's crazy is that they're just now talking about a Nova movie. Like you introduced these people in Phase 1. Why weren't they part of Phase 2?
They were back in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, right? The first
one. The very first Guardians. We got the Nova Corps. We didn't get Nova Prime, but we got the Nova Corps. That would definitely be one that I would be interested in seeing. I think, if Marvel kind of just chilled out, if they're not going to do what I suggested at this point, like years ago, and just, dude, you got to hard stop it. Kill it, burn it with fire, reboot it, or just bail because it's dead. Like, I mean, you can make as much as you want. You can see some returns. You can see every now and then something will hit, but this is a dead franchise. It really is. But
you better throw some holy water on that, or it's coming back from the dead.
Yeah, just. But if they're not going to do something like that, they got to do something extreme. You know what I mean? Like just bail on Earth. Give us Nova. Do the Guardians with the new team that was left over. Give us Silver Surfer proper. Go to the cosmos. Get to space for a while. Do a lot less proper. Give us one movie a year. Like Disney isn't only the MCU. It can make other stuff. They've proven that with major hits in the last year, like Inside Out 2 or Moana 2, which Moana was at my kid's birthday today. That was amazing. Moana 2 was not a fantastic movie. It was what it was supposed to be, though. They did a good enough job with it. It's a property that kids love. Parents want to take their kids to see it. Parents enjoy it with their kids. They just messed up the MCU so bad. I don't know how many people remember it, but Disney had the princesses on lock forever. They had the little girl audience, and they kept making stuff, and those little girls grew up and became adult fans that took their little girls to see it and stuff, and they wanted something for the boys. They bought Marvel thinking this will be our little boy stuff, and then they flipped it on its head and wonder why it went wrong. It makes no sense. I'm a boy. I grew up watching Disney movies too. I mean, we have like Aladdin. I like The Little Mermaid. Like it was like making it for girls doesn't mean it's exclusive for girls. Everyone's invited to watch it, but it's just catered more toward little girls. That's what the Marvel stuff was supposed to be. That's what it's been forever. Like comic book stuff. It slants major to a large male demographic. Girls are welcome. Girls are more than welcome there, but you still have to play to the demographic. I'm just a boy, just a poor boy. Ironheart is insufferable, 1000%. Aladdin is the best, yeah. But it's just crazy how big of a miss that's happened, man. Like I don't understand how these people have jobs, much less how they got these jobs to begin with when they're steering these companies in these directions and stuff. It just makes no sense. Another thing that doesn't make sense is why is this taking so long?
Yeah. Oh, because apparently they just got to go ahead for a script.
Yeah, like what, 15 years later? No, 20 years later, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're about 20 years in. And finally, Kananu is and he's working with the director, and they pitched this weekend. They pitched to DC their idea for Constantine 2. It's been in talks for a while. I thought like this was going to get scrapped with moving into this DCU era, but apparently not. They're leaning into it. I think this is great. This is giving us variety because we got the James Gunn stuff happening, but I think it's like what we were just talking about. You can't build on these movies. These aren't comic books. These are movies. It's a whole different medium. So you got to have standalone stuff. You know, we know it's DC. Audiences watching will see it say DC. The first one was a success. It's become like a cult hit. Lives on. The 4K Steelbook just released earlier this month. Got my copy. Check out my YouTube shorts to see that. I think you posted on IG. It's beautiful embossed Steelbook too. But they pitched and DC liked their pitch. So now they're tasked right now with putting it on paper, making a script out of it. 2 words. Tax write-off. Yeah, that's why a lot of that happens. But I'm excited for this. I know there's a lot of people that like Keanu Reeves as Constantine. There's a lot of people that think he's supposed to have blonde hair, but me personally, I don't think that matters one bit. Didn't bother me none the first time around. I think he crushed it. And I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look, but I don't know if the same director is returning or if it's a different director, if it's somebody attached with the first one that's coming back for this one.
I'm not sure.
Oh no. Going to be a new Spawn where they just tease us for years. Yeah. Hey man, there's a new Spawn movie coming.
Yeah.
They're just waiting on Jamie Foxx to start collecting Social Security before they start.
Yeah. Well, if Keanu Reeves says that Todd McFarlane is writing the script for Constantine 2, we'll never get it.
Yeah, never. But yeah, there's the Steelbook, which is like one of the coolest moments when he goes down to hell and he's getting chased by the demons, and he jumps up and cracks the holy water across his chest to come back up. Yeah, it was just super cool.
That's why you really wanted to make another one so you can have matching Steelbooks.
Yeah, I won't be mad about it if they're still making physical media by then.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm stalking the eBay toy closing soon. When I do snipe a toy at T6, no, not 60 seconds, not 30 seconds. No. If you're legitimately like the only time I buy something on eBay, I snipe it. Period. So whatever you hit place bid, like when it gets down to 30 seconds, hit place bid, type in whatever number you're happy to pay. Don't worry about what bid is sitting in there. If there's $3 sitting in there, don't type $3.50. If you're willing to pay $10 for the figure, type $10 out and then don't push anything. Just watch the countdown. When it says 3 seconds, when it goes 3, hit place bid. You can even do it when it says 2 seconds, but not before 3. And then it'll just bump you up to the highest bidder. It doesn't mean you're paying $10, but if someone else in there has a max bid of $5, it'll bump you up to $5.25, and that's what you'll end up paying. But always put in what you're willing to pay, because what'll happen is someone else who has a preset max bid in there, they'll end up winning it for a price that'll piss you off because you would have been happy to pay 50 cents more had you known their invisible bid was sitting there. But 3 seconds is the magic time. Yeah, but no, I wouldn't set it. Don't ever set a proxy early, because what's going to happen is you're going to overpay. If you set a bid in there early, like, oh, my max bid is $10. I'm going to set $10 in there. This expires in 2 days. Someone else is going to, it can be sitting at $1. You put $10 in there. Someone else can come around who doesn't know how to snipe and put $2. Oh, it's someone to bid $3. They'll run it all the way up and then never come back. And you could have got it and sniped it for $2, but now you're paying the full price for it. Never, ever, if you're trying to snipe, put in a pre-bid, unless it's something you want to get the notifications on and you don't want to miss out. Just hit a 25-cent bid, no max bid on it early on. Like if it's got 7 days left, that way you get the emails and the notifications along the way, and you'll get outbid the next day or something. But Yeah, always wait. Yeah, you snipe under 5 seconds. I do 3 seconds every time. I put my max on it and go from there. If it gets it, I win it. If not, I'm going to get any higher and I'm willing to pay for it. Yeah, that again, like you're killing all your chance. If people that just put in a max bid and forget an item, you're missing out on stuff. I know you can't be on eBay to just track and chase stuff all the time, but if you just do the set it and forget it, you're going to lose it most of the time to people like me. I will take it from you every single time. I can't tell you how many times I've been with Pops, like, hey, watch this. And we'll just sit there and we'll just have fun and just sniping something. Because if you're sniping, you're getting it, unless it just goes for some astronomical price you weren't willing to pay for the item. Was my introduction to Constantine and fell in love with him after that. But the movie led me to Hellblazer and I wasn't disappointed on the differences. Hell yeah. 24 people have heart on it. Yeah, that's going to be a rough one. I set my proxy where I'm willing to pay. Yeah, but if you snipe, you don't typically have to pay up to your proxy, what your proxy will be. If you proxy at the last minute versus early on, you don't have those people over the course of the days that it's there tinkering with that item where it's just slowly running it up. But if you have a proxy sitting in there and just 4 days on it, anyone that tinkers on that listing between then, they're going to bump some buttons and run it up like, okay, I'm out. Then it'll get ran up again. Versus if there's no proxy sitting on it and someone goes and hits it, all it did was put a 25 cent on the item. But if you got something there, you'll have someone like me come around. Oh, there's a proxy on it. I'll just hit bid a couple times just because I'm curious where it's sitting at on the max bid. No more sniping, but buyers get what it's worth. eBay needs to go to extended bidding if a bid is placed at the last second, then an hour's attitude time. No, that's crazy. Not on a platform that large. I mean, I get the idea of taking away sniping, but sniping is what sniping is. It just went for 25.52. The nibbling it started. It just went to 25.52. What's the item? I'm curious. What are you after? I snipe at 2 seconds. Got a Harley Cameron card tonight. Real cheap. Nice. So next I get outbid. I will say, damn it, Mark. It was mine. Yeah. I don't bid on eBay. I use an auction site that will extend time. Yeah, most auction sites will because the traffic. There's no site that has traffic compared to eBay. Just like there's no video site that has traffic compared to YouTube. Never been good at bidding, so I don't. Dude, I love sniping. It's fun. US 625. I'll tell you after 1020. Dude, no one here is going to go steal your item, buddy. That's pretty funny. I'll tell you after 1020. Let me see if we got anything else in the tank here. Captain America. Yeah, this one. Last one here. Thought this was interesting. You know, we've seen the news. Deathstroke Bane movie. Been kind of critical of these announced movie slate for the DCU with the Clayface standalone, the soon buddy cop Deathstroke and Bane, which I mean that has a potential to be amazing, but to a general audience and stuff, it just seems like a wild decision to do. Is Deathstroke is long overdue. His appearance in the Justice League movie was phenomenal. When I say Justice League, I'm specifically referring to the only Justice League live action that's ever been made, Zack Snyder's Justice League. I hope to God we get Joe back for this role. I think he's still perfect for it. He's the right age and everything, because Slade's supposed to be a little bit older, white-haired and everything, and Joe can crush that. But they're saying they're going to introduce Deathstroke in the upcoming Waller TV series, which now makes the movie make a little bit more sense because the Waller series will predate any movie that they start production on, even if they started this week with it. So introing him before a movie, that makes perfect sense. So seeing this kind of made me excited. Like, okay, they're not as dumb as I must have assumed that they were. But so that's pretty cool. Did you see this news?
I did. Yeah, I'm excited for it too, and I think you're right. I mean, Joe Manganiello, or however you say his last name.
I wasn't going to attempt it.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, he's got the look. He's also got the build for it as well. So
he's got the attitude. You know, he's always played that guy like in True Blood or in Rampage. He's real stern. But I thought this was interesting. Also, knowing what we know about Amanda Waller and where she stands in the DCU. You know, she ran the illegal black ops for the government and stuff. She got outed at the end of Peacemaker, and we know that Peacemaker season 2 is supposed to deal with a little bit of that fallout, but the Amanda Waller series specifically is clearly going to follow more of that fallout. And I'm wondering, you know, she always is prepared. She is the villain Batman when it comes to the DCU. Like, it's just the planning is everything. that is her superpower. You're not going to get one up on her like very often, kind of thing. And Wilson would be a great bodyguard for somebody that people are coming after. And if they're coming after Amanda Waller, I think how cool of a show would it be if it's kind of like a Get Waller scenario where, you know, the government comes for Waller. Unfortunately, they run into Slade, who she's hired to protect her. And then they send bigger guns. And, you know, at the government's disposal would be guns for hire kind of people. You know, wouldn't be superheroes. So you get more like a Suicide Squad list of random villains, like B and C list villains that you wouldn't expect to see, but it would be a blast to see taking on Slade. I'm just thinking, how cool would that be? And get like a whole identity crisis scenario where they come at him in numbers and he just decimates them. And then we get the Deathstroke Page Puncher. It's on Amazon for $25. I did not. The only Page Punchers I ever picked up was the Black Adam, Batman, and Flash. Finn opened the Flash. I gave away Black Adam on a new DC day. And I gave away Batman on a new DC day. Yeah, use them as bonus prizes for the Super Chat stretch goals. If y'all come to the new DC day video, I do Super Chat goal on there that you can set up in YouTube. And if we hit the 5 Super Chats of $2 minimum, we throw all kind of extra stuff in there from Page Punchers to Ollie's packs, all kinds of cool stuff. When does Peacemaker 2 drop? I think August or something like that, ended at the end of summer.
It was like late summer, I think they were talking about last I read. But sometimes
I still want to know who that character sitting Indian style by the campfire was. Because knowing that Peacemaker is a Charlton character, they gave us Judo Master in the last season. I'm wondering what kind of like wild character we never expect to see will pop up in there. Watch your mouth pop. If someone had the audacity to tell me that Deadpool is not a Deathstroke knockoff, he's a Spider-Man knockoff, I was like, get out of here. Go on now. Get. But yeah, dude, we've been going long tonight. It's already well over an hour and a half. John's Comics with Kids mentioned it early on in the video, so I do want to make sure we mention it here now. Go check out Wonder Woman. This run is wrapping up with 2 more issues, I think, right? This is 18. It's going to 20.
It's going to 19 now, so there's one more issue.
One more issue.
Is for the Sovereign storyline, yep.
Ooh, is that going to be the end of TK's run? Is he doing the Sovereign story? The movie? Thank God. I don't want to give the haters the pleasure of him leaving after this run because Tom King comes with, man, he's a divisive writer. Mm-hmm. Everyone's like, there needs to be stakes in comics, puts them in there and they get pissed. This issue specifically because there's a YouTube channel which I enjoy hanging out on. Honestly good fellow. And but he just like drank the haterade when it come to Tom King's Wonder Woman. Like he did a stream with some girl who's a Wonder Woman fan, and they did Wonder Woman talk. And after that, then he started hating the Tom King stuff. I'm like, that's so weird. But this issue, before it comes out, he asked people to use this like hashtag to try to get it trending to get Tom King to leave Wonder Woman, which that's such a funny thing to do in my opinion. But he puts on there before the book comes out, make sure you share the page of what you disliked most from this issue before you even read it. It comes out. I'm like, that's pretty presumptuous. That's pretty presumptuous. But because there was nothing wrong with this issue, you know what their issue was with this issue?
What?
Why was she being patriotic with a country that wants to kill her?
Because brother, she knows it's not the country, it's the people.
There you go, because the country is not trying to kill her. Like how I didn't want to say it because that's literally what I said. Is like the country's not trying to kill her. That person right there is just that person. And she actually said in the book why she didn't want that stooge holding the flag because it represents the place that took her and his family when she first arrived here. You know, like it's wild, man. Like when you have to twist the actual story to try to find something to hate on it. I appreciate people having a different opinion and wanting to debate the merits of a story with me. That's part of the fun of this. But if you have to make shit up, I'm like, that's so weird. So weird. Pop's name should be Booster Cable. My wife calls me Max Cable. Not going to touch that. So does Scotty win the eBay auction? We're waiting. It's 10:20. He's awfully quiet, so he might be working on it. And also, shout out to Las Cruces for riding it out. You know, he popped in. He's just been chilling. You know, he comments at the beginning. He's been chilling. Then he saw it hit 10:20.
Ooh, it's up to $59.
Dude, how much are you willing to buy it for? That's a lot. You got to check the condition, and if it's a toy, it depends on if it's got the accessories when it comes to the price. How about that auction? I want to know what's it for. We're waiting. He said at 10:20, he's got to let it ride out. Tom King's Wonder Woman's a perfect book. Absolutely agree. Mm-hmm. Absolutely agree. My man Les Crucius is invested. He is. My last bid was 40. Oh, okay. So he's just writing. All right. Well, what was the item? What were you after? We want to know. You got a lot of collectors in here, man. We've been riding this out with you. We've been through the emotional roller coaster of this.
That's right. You went for $59. I can get one from Taiwan for $70 shipped.
That doesn't sound like a better deal. That sounds like a worse deal.
Yeah. What is it, though?
What is the item?
In which case, then don't tell us.
No, definitely tell us.
Okay. Perfect Effect Robot V2 Biotron Micronauts.
I'm not familiar with that at all.
No.
Perfect Effect Robot V2 Biotron. Let's see what it pulls up. I want to see what this looks like. Sold items. Oh, that's dope. Is this the same thing? This just says mini robot. The PDO1, Robot V2, and Star Pilot. Oh, yeah, it says Perfect Effect on it. So I guess this is what it is.
Robot V2, that's what it looks like.
Is this it, Scotty? That's pretty dope.
Yep.
Kevin said he had a lot of those toys when he was a kid. Pretty dope. Yeah, dude. What year is that from? That looks pretty cool. Clearly 80s. Unless these are like remakes of them, but hope you find one. Hopes you find one. But yeah, Wonder Woman, perfect book. Highly recommend people check it out. We're up to issue number 18, so you could go ahead and start grabbing the collected volumes if you haven't read any of them yet. And check out the deep dive tomorrow. There's a lot of stuff to cover tonight, so we'll I'm not going to even speed through comics. We'll definitely be diving into some comic stuff. But yes. I do want to mention Jenny Sparks wrapped up this week, and I'm dying to know your thoughts on Jenny Sparks, Paul.
It hasn't arrived yet.
Perfect. And we won't be talking about it tonight. The finale was definitely a finale. 7-issue miniseries, Tom King. And who did the art on that? Spokey?
Yeah, Spokes. Michael Spokes.
Nailed it.
But yeah, we're going to have to spend maybe the entire next week, though, just talking about New Gods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're definitely covering some books next week. New Gods was absolutely bonkers. Did you read it?
I did, twice.
Nice. I already want to know, what would you think? Do you see why I said it's not necessarily the best one to try to do a deep dive on?
Yeah.
It's kind of got too much lore to try to synopsize. Yeah,
I was trying to think about it, and to me, it's kind of it. There are parts of it that kind of read like an episode of Nova, or it's something, or like one thing you would see on like National Geographic about,
Oh yeah, when we're doing the dialogue and through the Federici art part.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All the lore
through the flashback to the old god.
And then it comes down to what you would see on TGI Fridays in the 80s, on your Friday sitcom with Oberon and the kids and that lore that they gave us. But you see how, like, what I was saying with how brilliant it was that they brought in Ricardo for this, because the last time we were dealing with old gods in DC was PKJ's Action Run, which Ricardo was drawing the Orgum stuff and all that. So when it was time to talk old gods again, they called Ricardo and gave us this consistency that spans now for like 2.5 years. Whenever we're dealing with old gods, we're getting Ricardo art pretty much, as long as it's like flashback stuff now. Because we did get a little bit of touch of like where Olgrim is now through the War Journal stuff with the Revenant Queen and the infection going beyond their death and stuff. But oh my God, that book was amazing. And the 3 siblings and stuff. And
kind of like their purposes and how they cross to the point of to a fault. But dude, it was so freaking good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what do we got here? True or false? New Gods is a ripoff of the Eternal. False. 1000% false.
I think it's false too, although I'm not convinced that Jack Kirby didn't use some of the ideas that he may have had for either one.
Well, let me ask you this. Which one came out first?
I want to say Eternals, but I'm not positive, and I could be wrong.
Chat? What came out first, New Gods or Eternals? I'm curious now. He has this like cosmic story that he has in his head where you know, like you can like fan together like the Matrix and Terminator. Like the Matrix is like an ultimate down the road scenario if Terminator keeps going. And it's not limited to New Gods and Eternals, because there's more stuff on the Captain Victory world and stuff where you can like connect all these Kirby created characters into like this one massive storytelling venture that he wish he could have done.
Oh no, that is definitely New Gods, because Eternals 1 was in July 1976.
That's why the comment is absolutely false. So Eternals is a ripoff of New Gods, and it legitimately is. Jack Kirby was doing New Gods. He loved this stuff. And like I was saying, and Pops can break all this stuff down beautifully. But when you get into like all of his, what company was it that he was doing like Captain Victory and introducing that? But all of this stuff exists in his head in this, this grand cosmic opera in his head. And it's like New Gods, he wanted it to be a definitive story that was told. DC wanted it to be longer, so he took it longer, and then he ended up leaving DC. And when he went to Marvel, he wanted to continue this genre that he's really digging, and that's why we got Eternals. While it's not a ripoff of New Gods, it's a genre that he just absolutely loves. So he just wanted to continue that genre. But yeah, New Gods, Fourth World, this is where it all started for him in that genre on paper. That's it. Captain America Brave New World, it won't be. For it to be a success on Disney Plus, and we talked about this a good bit earlier, Captain America 4 is a massive flop, unfortunately. While I had fun watching it, it had an 84% drop from week 1 to 2. It only did like $7 million this week. It's dead on arrival with a $360 million budget. It also, that fake $180 million reported budget they dropped, can't turn out that was just reshoots. But for it to be a success on Disney Plus means that the release of it on Disney Plus brings in new subscribers.
Right, I was just going to say that. Yeah.
They don't care how many people who have a subscription watch it. Watching something doesn't give them $1. Is what can bring in new subscribers. So, and you'll never see the honest numbers for Disney Plus new subscribers, which we just found out that 700,000 Disney Plus subscribers were subsidized by the government. The government, our taxpayer dollars, bought 700,000 Disney Plus subscribers under the guys that were doing it so that they can produce National Geographic content. I didn't know our government produced National Geographic content, but the only thing frustrating about that is the fact that they raised their prices, stating we have a surplus of subscribers, so we want to raise our prices, but they took our money and put it into Disney Plus just for Disney Plus to raise their prices to take more of our money. Pardon my French, but fuck Disney. That's crazy. Like you're not being a very
good Disney shill.
I am a Disney shill. I've got the shirt. Where is the shirt? I swear to God, I didn't throw it away. It's somewhere. The kids ran off with it. But yeah, it's unfortunately, I don't think Captain America is going to move the needle. I think he's having an opposite effect. Looks like the Micronaut. Captain Victory was Orion's offspring. There it is. Yeah, like it all ties in together beautifully. Cap Force King of 2025 box office right now. Yo, nothing else has come out. With a 200, it's sitting at like $200 million. Yeah, there's nothing to compare it to. Nothing else is released this year. Yeah, it's going to get obliterated. I think Thunderbolts is going to obliterate it. I think Mission Impossible is going to obliterate it. I think Avatar is going to slam dunk on everything. Like let's be honest here. Avatar is going to come in at the end of the year and say, "Hold my beer." I think Superman's going to be the second biggest movie of the year. When Avatar's going to be the first, and I don't think they're even going to be close to other stuff. I'm hoping that Mission Impossible does really well. They're not superhero movies, but maybe people are getting tired of them and they'll go see real movies again. Like, you know what I mean? Like original stuff. I know Mission Impossible is based on the old TV show, but it's not a comic book, or it's not, because you know, studios don't want to invest in anything that doesn't have an existing fan base right now. But Mission Impossible is kind of close to that, even though it's a franchise. I won't watch on D Plus over time. As soon as the government gets involved in business, they raise the prices to milk that cash cow. They do. Told you, market. I am a Disney shill. I have the shirt. This Disney show doesn't seem very good at his job. Dances with Wolves is better than Avatar. Dances with Wolves is fantastic, but it's not about if it's been done before. It's about who done it better. Dances with Werewolves. There you go. Fern Gully, yeah. Fern Gully above all of them, my dude. Fern Gully above all of them. Zach and Krista, ship them. Couple of the century. But yeah, that's going to do it for tonight. I appreciate everybody coming and hanging out. It's already 10:32. I don't want to drag Paul through the mud any longer. But yeah, we'll see where it goes. We'll see what happens, all this stuff. This was a fun show tonight. There's a lot of stuff. Yeah. A lot of stuff to talk about. I appreciate everybody coming out and hanging out. Make sure y'all check out the channel. We got the DC Deep Dive over on Sector's channel tomorrow. If you're not subbed up to Sector, hit the description. You can click right on his channel link right down there. It just says at Sector 2815. You can sub him up and find us breaking down the Zatanna #1 tomorrow in the DC Comics or Deep Dive. And then Wednesday is Guess That Key live, 9 o'clock on his channel. We'll be over there. And DJ Lynx and Lady Fantastic are the guests this week. So this show is going to be absolutely off the rails from the start. When you get my YouTube big sister and me together, it gets very vulgar very fast, and neither one of us can help it. Paul said when we were talking, I'm going to need a 10-second delay. But he posted on his YouTube shorts the insane giveaway that you can win just from coming over and hanging out with us and having fun, chilling on YouTube with comic book people. But it'll be good stuff. Okay, get off my monitor. Sled, shoot me a DM. No, shoot me a DM for real. And that's going to do it. I've got a content coming out of the. Oh, finally, DC. I've been talking to DC all weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Friday and Saturday. They reached out like apologizing for taking so long for reviewing the video they asked me to do with them for the little partnership video. Mm-hmm. And for reasons, they were doing some changing of stuff on their end on the product that they wanted me to discuss. Yeah. So I had to go. I went in and just put a little extra bit of footage into the video so that it'll align with the finished product of what they wanted me to discuss. And they reviewed the video and said it's great. They have to hand it off to the final say-soer. And tomorrow, it should be out Wednesday. So if you're a channel member, the next DC Comics partnership video that I have will hopefully be available tomorrow to you and Wednesday to everybody else. So finally, I'm excited to get that out there.
They apparently haven't seen your Disney Shield video yet.
Oh, no. Yeah. I'm glad I got the Disney Shield label, though, because it helps counterbalance the fact that I've been blessed enough to get a couple of partnership videos with DC Comics, because now it's balanced. And
next week, Legion Loot?
I don't know. You tell me. I don't keep up with that.
March 2nd.
Then yeah. It's Disney Shield month. So I'm going to throw the BTC. We'll throw the BTC exclusives in there, but for the channel members in the Legion tier, there's the supporter tier and the Legion tier. If you're in the Legion tier, your name goes on the channel member appreciation wheel, and these are the books that you can be gifted. So celebrating Captain America 4 because, that's the most recent movie. Grab some cool Captain America stuff. We have Captain America 332 iconic Zek cover is going to be in there. Captain America 323, which is the first John Walker who becomes U.S. agent. Thunderbolts is coming. Good one to go ahead and have. And I got multiple copies of that. As a matter of fact, here's the other copy. I can go in there. We have Captain America issue number 0, the Alex Ross cover featuring Sam Wilson, Captain America. Gorgeous, gorgeous cover. You know, we got to get some throwbacks in there as well with Captain America issue number 105. You know, Captain America's run started at issue number 100, so it didn't have an issue 1. So this is issue number. This
well,
is
it did, but you're
one.
not giving that away.
Huh?
So it did have an issue number 1, but you're not giving that away.
Yeah, no, I don't even got that shit. Yeah, back in the golden age when Marvel didn't have a Captain America issue 1. Yeah. But then issue number 106, so some beautiful Kirby stuff. And then the first appearance of Sam Wilson as Captain America in issue number 25 from 2014 in the CGC 9.4. And then big shout out to my homie Nick's Kicks and Comics, who went to MegaCon and grabbed me some stuff. He grabbed 2 copies of this so that one could go in the Legion loot for the Legionnaires. So Hell Hunters issue number 2, John Jane goodness, featuring the coolest Ghost Rider since the last Ghost Rider, because they're all freaking awesome. Uncle Sal, from World War II, signed by John Jang himself. So some amazingness. And then, of course, I'll grab some of the big-time collectibles exclusives and put in there. So check out the Instagram or follow the shorts. I'll be sure to try to share out what's going in there. And last but not least, we've got the compendium or complete collection of Sam Wilson Captain America. So if you have never had the opportunity to read that book that's in the slab, it's included in here along with a couple of mini series and then the start to the runs. Nice. So this is I picked this up while we were on vacation last year, planning this giveaway that far back. This is how far ahead of time I try to think about this stuff so that there's topical relevant stuff to kind of put into the giveaway. So while people are interested and curious, they get an opportunity to get a hold of some stuff so you can collect some Cap stuff, read some Cap stuff, and check out the movie. Check out the movie. See it for yourself if you haven't seen it. Unless you're Sledge. Sledge, don't watch it. You won't like it. I'm not saying that to be funny. You won't like it, my man. There's no way around it. I will somehow not sub to you, so I am now. We'll be checking out your videos. So thank you for subbing me up, Kevin. I'm just kidding. Channel member Kevin Random Reads. Wanted to be fashionably late. Waited to almost the end of the show. Morning, y'all. What is going on, Jeff? Hope you're doing good, my man. Good to see you in here. Big shout out to you. So yeah, that gives y'all till next week to, if y'all want to get entered into that, hit that join button. And if you're already a channel member, make sure you're in the Legion tier. And that's going to do it. Already watched it. I give it a 4. That's fair. Fair. That's not much. That's barely lower than what I give it. And that's going to do it for tonight. And we're going to end this in a very similar fashion that we typically end it in, but with a little bit of extra context. This is actually Captain America Brave New World minus the plot armor. See y'all next time.
Is that it? Is that all you got?